Waiting and we'll share.
Okay. So Danny, can you drop your Venmo and Cash App into the Zoom chat so I can put it into the YouTube? Okay.
Also, Michelle, the part in the museum where the accent, I'm not going to do exactly what he did, so we're just gonna play that fast and loose.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Apparently we have to sing too, so.
Oh,
I
yeah.
only know one of the songs. So.
Hey, listen. I'm sorry that y'all can't top Eleanor and me from last time. So
nothing can.
I mean,
nothing.
technically, the scene is supposed to be awkward anyway, so you know, it'll just be naturally awkward.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool.
All right.
Let's do this. All right. Hi, everybody out there. We are the Not Ready for Quarantine players. It's Saturday, February the 20th, and we are back doing arguably what I would say is the best rom-com of all time, which is When Harry Met Sally from 1988, 87?
89.
89. Thank you. I only do that to say that's the reaction I was waiting for because it makes Michelle crazy.
I think I was the only person born, right?
I was
no,
289.
I was year old. So yeah. And we have a very special benefit for actually basically the next month. We've got special benefits, but this is to help dial down Brother Daniel's top surgery costs, which you're going to hear more about as when we come back for Act 2. And we have a very small cast tonight, but we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So starting as our co-leads, Harry Burns and Sally Albright, we've got the man of the hour, Brother Daniel. We have Michelle Wynn as Sally, getting ready to give plenty of childhood trauma to her son tonight.
Hopefully he won't be listening. Him and Robert are going to play video games.
That's a good partner. That's a really good partner. Earmuffs.
Yeah.
As Harry's best friend, Jess, I'm really happy that we have Elizabeth Reichardt back after a very long hiatus. As Sally's bestie, Marie, that would be me, getting to fulfill my lifelong goal of being Space Mom. As all of the old couples, and they're basically like going to be playing every role that's not the four of us. Ginger and Mona are back. Hello, friends.
I like on the ring light. Hey, here we are.
Hey.
I like the spaces on the couch. That's very like the couples. I think this was very well planned.
That's why we went on the couch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. And narrating for us is our dad, Sean Watson. I'm going to be putting Brother Daniel's Venmo, Cash App links into the YouTube. Please give, and you'll learn more about why you need to give. And in the other half of our show, but for right now, Sean, take us away.
All right. Documentary footage of an older couple, a man and a woman. They're sitting together on a love seat, looking straight at the camera.
Hey, Drew.
I was sitting with my friend, Arthur Kornrom, in a restaurant. It was a cafeteria, and this beautiful girl walked in. And I turned to Arthur and I said, Arthur, you see that girl? I'm going to marry her. And 2 weeks later, we were married. It's over 50 years later, still married.
Exterior, University of Chicago campus, day. Card, 10 years ago. A couple in a clinch. The young man involved is named Harry Burns. He's 26, just graduated from law school, wearing jeans and a sweatshirt. He's kissing a young woman named Amanda. She has long, straight hair that she irons. She's about 20. The embrace is fairly melodramatic. They pull back to look at one another.
I love you.
I love you.
They begin to kiss. A car pulls up right beside them, stops, sits there. Driving the car is Sally Albright. She's 21 years old. She's very pretty, although not necessarily in an obvious way. She sits there waiting for the kiss to end. It doesn't end. She clears her throat. They don't hear her. She shifts position and accidentally, on purpose, hits the car horn, which beeps and startles Amanda and Harry into breaking off their clinch. Amanda sees Sally, and she and Harry move over to the car.
Oh, hi, Sally. Sally, this is Harry Burns. Harry, this is Sally Albright.
Nice to meet you.
They shake hands.
So you want to drive the first shift?
Nah, you're already there. You can start.
Back's open.
Harry looks meaningfully at Amanda. Then he starts to put his stuff, a duffel bag, a box of records, into the back seat of the car, where Sally's stuff is two suitcases, stereo speakers, a guitar, boxes of books, a small TV.
Call me.
I'll call you as soon as I get there.
Oh, call me from the road.
I'll call you before that.
Harry and Amanda exchange longing looks outside the car.
I love you.
I love you.
They kiss again. Sally sits, waiting, waiting. She hits the car horn again. Harry and Amanda break apart.
Sorry.
Harry gets into the car, and as it pulls away, he and Amanda exchange more goodbyes.
I miss you already, huh? I miss you already.
I miss you.
Bye.
Bye.
Exterior, daytime, Chicago Street. Harry takes out a bunch of grapes, starts to eat them.
Have it all figured out. It's an 18-hour trip, which breaks down into 6 shifts of 3 hours each, or alternatively, we can break it down by mileage. There's a map up there in the visor that I've marked to show the location so we can change shifts. You can do 3 hours?
Grapes?
No, I don't like to eat in between meals.
Harry spits a grape seed out the window, which doesn't happen to be down.
I'll write on the window. Why don't you tell me the story of your life?
Story of my life.
Well, we got 18 hours to kill before we hit New York.
The story of my life isn't even going to get us out of Chicago. I mean, nothing's happened to me yet. That's why I'm going to New York.
So something can happen to you?
Yes.
Like what?
I can get into journalism school to become a reporter.
So you can write about things that happen to other people.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
Suppose nothing happens to you. Suppose you lived out your whole life and nothing happens. You never meet anybody. You never become anything. And finally, you die in one of those New York deaths, which nobody notices for 2 weeks till the smell drifts into the hallway.
Sally looks over at Harry. Who am I stuck in this car with? She looks back at the road. Exterior car, traveling shot, day. As the car turns onto the highway,
Amanda mentioned you had a dark side.
That's what drew her to me.
Your dark side.
Sure. Why? Don't you have a dark side? Nah. You're probably one of those cheerful people who dots their eyes with little hearts.
I have just as much of a dark side as the next person.
Oh, really? When I buy a new book, I always read the last page first. That way, in case I die before I finish, I know how it ends. That, my friend, is a dark side.
That doesn't mean you're deep or anything. But yes, basically, I am a happy person.
So am I.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Of course not. You're too busy being happy. Do you ever think about death?
Yes.
Sure you do. Fleeting thought that jumps in and out of the transient of your mind. I spent hours. I spend days.
And you think that makes you a better person.
Look, when the shit comes down, I'm gonna prepare it and you're not. That's all I'm saying.
And in the meantime, you're going to ruin your whole life waiting for it.
exterior car, highway, late afternoon. The car is now on a surface road heading toward the motel diner complex. Harry is driving. Sally is in the passenger seat.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong. He wants her to leave. That's why he puts her on the plane.
I don't think she wants to stay.
Of course she wants to stay. Wouldn't you rather be with Humphrey Bogart than the other guy?
I don't want to spend the rest of my life in Casablanca married to a man who runs a bar. I probably sound very snobbish to you, but I don't.
You'd rather be in a passionless marriage
And be the first lady of Czechoslovakia.
than live with the man that you've just had the greatest sex of your life with, and just because he owns a bar, and that's all he does.
The car stops in front of the diner, which is straight out of the 50s.
Yes, and so had any woman in her right mind. Women are very practical, even Ingrid Bergman, which is why she gets on the plane at the end of the movie.
Oh, I understand.
What?
Nothing.
Harry crosses toward the diner. Sally follows after him.
What?
Forget about it.
For what? Forget about what?
It's not important.
Just tell me.
Interior diner. As Harry and Sally come into the door, a hostess is waiting.
Obviously, you haven't had great sex yet. 2, please.
Right over there.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
He crosses away from her toward the table.
It just so happens that I've had plenty of good sex.
This doesn't go unheard by the hostess and other diners. Sally walks to the table, sits down.
Okay, with whom?
What?
With whom did you have this great sex?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Fine, don't tell me.
A long silence. Maybe they both look at the menu. Maybe they just sit there.
Shell Gordon.
Sheldon? No. You didn't have great sex with Sheldon.
I did too.
No, you didn't. A Sheldon can do your income taxes. If you need a root canal, Sheldon's your man. But humping and pumping is not Sheldon's strong suit. It's the name. Do it to me, Sheldon. You're an animal, Sheldon. Ride me big, Sheldon. Doesn't work.
Hi, what can I get you?
Number 3, please.
I'd like the chef salad, please, with the oil and vinegar on the side and the apple pie a la mode.
Chef and apple a la mode.
But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side, and I'd like strawberry instead of vanilla if you have it. If not, then no ice cream, just whipped cream, but only if it's real, not out of a can.
Not even the pie?
No, just the pie, but then not heated.
Uh-huh.
As the waitress leaves, Harry stares in disbelief at Sally.
What?
Nothing at all. So how come you broke up with Sheldon?
How do you know we broke up?
Because if you didn't break up, you wouldn't be here with me. You'd be off with Sheldon the Wonderslong.
First of all, I'm not here with you. Second of all, it is none of your business why we broke up.
You're right. I don't want to know.
After a beat,
Well, if you must know, it was because he was very jealous and I had these day of the week underpants.
I'm sorry. I need a judge's ruling on this days of week underpants.
Yes, they had the days of the week on them, and I thought they were sort of funny. And then one day Sheldon says to me, "You never wear Sunday." And it's all suspicious. Like, where was Sunday? Where was Sunday? And I told him, and he didn't believe me.
Why?
They don't make Sunday.
Why?
Because of God.
they are finishing their meal. The check arrives. Sally figures out her portion of the bill. She notices Harry just staring at her.
Okay, so 15% of my share is 90, 69. This leaves 7. What? Do you have something on my face?
You're a very attractive person.
Thank you.
Amanda never said how attractive you were.
Well, maybe she doesn't think I'm attractive.
I don't think it's a matter of opinion. Empirically, you're attractive.
Amanda is my friend.
Sally gets up, drops some money on the table, and crosses away. Harry also leaves money and follows her.
So?
So you're going with her.
So?
So you're coming on to me.
No, I wasn't. What? Can a man say a woman is attractive without it being a come on?
She stares at him, then exits the diner and heads for the car.
All right. Let's just say for the sake of argument that it was a come on. What do you want me to do about it? I take it back, okay? I take it back.
You can't take it back.
Why not?
Because it's already out there.
An awkward pause.
Oh, geez. What are we supposed to do? Call the cops? It's already out there.
Just let it lie, okay?
She quickly gets into the car and unlocks his door. He gets in the car.
Great. Let it lie. That's my policy. That's what I always say. Let it lie. You want to spend the night at a motel? See what I did? I didn't let it lie.
Harry.
I said I wouldn't, and I didn't.
Harry.
Went the other way.
Harry.
What?
We're just going to be friends, okay?
Great. Friends. It's the best thing.
Interior car, night. A long silence.
You realize, of course, that we can never be friends.
Why not?
What I'm saying is, and this is not a come on in any way, shape, or form, is that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true. I have a number of men friends and there's no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No, what I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
They do not.
Do too.
How do you know?
Because no man can be friends with a woman he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
So you're saying that a man can be friends with a woman he finds unattractive?
Nah, you pretty much want to nail him too.
What if they don't want to have sex with you?
Doesn't matter because the sex thing is already out there, so the friendship is ultimately doomed, and that's the end of the story.
Well, I guess we're not going to be friends then.
Guess not.
That's too bad. You're the only person I knew in New York.
Exterior, New York Street, day. Downtown near Washington Square, the car pulls up and Harry hops out, grabbing his stuff.
Hey, thanks for the ride.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Sally nods. Harry nods. An awkward moment. Sally holds out her hand.
Well, have a nice life.
You too.
Harry starts to walk off as she drives off. Documentary footage. Another older couple sitting together on the same love seat we saw earlier.
We fell in love in high school.
Yeah, we were in high school, sweethearts.
But then after our junior year, their parents moved away.
Oh, but I never forgot her.
They never forgot me.
No, her face is burned into my brain. And it was, I don't know, 34 years later, I was walking down Broadway and I saw her coming out of Toff and Eddie's.
And we both looked at each other, and it was just as though not a single day had gone by.
She was just as ugly as she was at 16.
They were just the same. Total dick. They looked exactly the same.
Interior LaGuardia Airport, day. It's 5 years later. A couple in a clinch. The woman is Sally at 26. She looks great. She's a stylish young woman. She's kissing a very attractive man with a beard, although it's not easy to see him at the moment. His name is Joe. Harry is coming down the hallway of the airline terminal. He's wearing a suit and a tie and trench coat. He has a kind of attractive but rumpled demeanor. He notices the couple kissing, goes past them, then stops, backs up. He recognizes them. They're still kissing. Harry comes closer, peers at the two of them from slightly too close. It's not easy to see either of their faces. Finally, Sally and Joe become aware that someone is standing nearby, and they stop kissing to look at Harry.
Joe, I thought it was you. Harry Burns.
Harry, how are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm doing fine.
Yeah, it's great. I was just walking by and I thought it was you, and there it is. It's you.
Yeah, sure is.
Are you still with the DA's office?
No, I switched to the other side. What about you?
I work with a small firm and we do political consulting.
Joe nods. Harry nods. An awkward pause. Sally's just standing there, wondering if Harry remembers her.
Oh, Harry, this is Sally Albright, Harry Burns, and Harry and I, we used to, we lived together in the same building. Huh.
Well, listen, I got a plane to catch. It was really good to see you, Joe.
Yeah, you too, Harry.
Bye now.
Harry starts down the long corridor for his plane. Joe and Sally look at each other.
God, he couldn't place me. I drove from college to New York with him 5 years ago and it was the longest night of my life.
What happened?
He made a pass at me when I said no because he was going with a girlfriend of mine. Oh, God, I can't even remember her name now. Don't get involved with me, Joe. I'm 26 years old and I can't even remember the name of a girl I was such good friends with when I wouldn't get involved with her boyfriend.
So what happened?
When?
when he made a pass at you, you said no, and
Oh, I said we could just be friends. And then this part I can remember. He said that men and women couldn't never really be friends. Do you think that's true?
No.
Do you have any women friends? Just friends?
Nope. But I'll get one if it's important to you.
Amanda Reese. That was her name. Thank God.
Another kiss.
I'll miss you. Love you.
You do?
Yeah.
I love you.
Interior airplane day. The plane is in flight en route from New York to Washington. Sally's in the middle seat in a crowded all-coach plane. She has a New York Times in her lap, but she's staring into the distance, a little smile on her face. There's a man on the aisle next to her. In the row in the back of her, in the aisle seat, is Harry. His head pops up. Sally tries to read the paper. The man on the aisle looks up at Harry, who is still looming over them, trying to place Sally. Harry pops down. Sally tries to read again. Harry pops up again, pops back down. The air hostess comes down the aisle with a drink cart, asks Sally for her drink order.
And what would you like to drink?
Nothing, thanks.
Do you have any Bloody Mary mix?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
She starts to pour.
Sorry. Oh, wait. Here's what I want. Regular tomato juice, fill it about 3/4, then add a splash of Bloody Mary mix. Just a splash, no little piece of lime, but on the side.
Harry's head starts to rise again.
The University of Chicago, right?
Yes.
Harry pops down. He pops right back up.
Did you look this good at the University of Chicago?
No.
Did we ever,
No. We drove from Chicago to New York after graduation.
The passenger on the aisle has been listening and watching all of this.
Would you two like to sit together?
No.
Great, thank you.
Harry and the passenger on the aisle change seats, and Harry sits down next to Sally.
You were a good friend of,
He can't remember her name.
Amanda's. I can't believe you can't remember her name.
What do you mean? I remember. Amanda, right? Amanda Rice.
Reese.
Right, that's what I said. Whatever happened to her?
I have no idea.
You have no idea? You were really good friends with her. We didn't make it because you were such good friends.
You went with her.
And was it worth it? The sacrifice for a friend that you don't even keep in touch with?
Harry, you might not believe this, but I never considered not sleeping with you a sacrifice.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
After a beat,
You were going to be a gymnast.
A journalist.
Right, that's what I said. And?
I am a journalist. I work at the news.
Great. And you're with Joe. Well, that's great. Great. You're together what, 3 weeks?
A month. How did you know that?
You take someone to the airport, it's clearly the beginning of a relationship. That's why I've never taken anyone to the airport at the beginning of a relationship.
Why?
Because eventually, if things move on, you don't want to take someone to the airport. And I never wanted anyone to say to me, how come you never take me to the airport anymore?
It's amazing. You look like a normal person, but actually, you're the angel of death.
Are you going to marry him?
Oh, we have only known each other for a month. And besides, neither one of us is looking to get married right now.
I'm getting married.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Yeah, I am.
Who is she?
Helen Helson. She's a lawyer. She's keeping her name.
You're getting married.
Yeah. What's so funny about that?
It's just so optimistic of you, Harry.
Well, you'd be amazed what falling madly in love can do for you.
Well, it's wonderful. It's nice to see you embracing life in this manner.
Yeah, plus, you just get to a certain point where you get tired of the whole thing.
What whole thing?
The whole life of a single guy thing. You meet someone, you have the safe lunch, you decide you like each other enough to move on to dinner. You go dancing, you do the white man's overbite. You go back to her place, you have sex, and the minute you're finished, you know what goes through your mind? How long do I have to lie here and hold her before I can get up and go home? Is 30 seconds enough?
Is that what you're thinking? Is that true?
Sure, all men think that. How long do you want to be held afterwards? All night, right? See, there's your problem. Somewhere between 30 seconds and all night is your problem.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, you do.
The flight attendant announces that everyone should fasten seatbelts in preparation for landing in Washington, D.C. International Airport, day. Harry and Sally are on a moving sidewalk.
Staying over?
Yes.
Would you like to have dinner?
Sally looks at him a little suspiciously.
What? Just friends.
I thought you didn't believe men and women could be friends.
When did I say that?
On the ride to New York.
No. I never said that. Yes, that's right. They can't be friends unless both of them are involved with other people. Then they can. This is an amendment to the earlier rule. If the two people are in relationships, the pressure of possibility of involvement is lifted. Yeah, that doesn't work either, because what happens then is the person you're involved with can't understand why you need to be friends with the person you're just friends with. Like, it means something is missing from their relationship. And why do you have to go outside to get it? Then when you say, no, it's not true, nothing's missing from the relationship, the person you're involved with then accuses you of being secretly attracted to the person you're just friends with, which we probably are. I mean, come on, who the hell are we kidding? Let's face it. Which brings us back to the earlier rule before the amendment, which is men and women can't be friends. So where does that leave us?
Harry,
What?
goodbye.
Oh, okay.
They look at each other and shake hands. Though they have said goodbye, they are now in the awkward place of still going in the same direction. After a beat,
I'll just stop walking. I'll let you go ahead.
documentary footage. Another older couple sitting in the love seat, looking at the camera.
We were married 40 years ago. We were married 3 years. We got a divorce, and then I married Marjorie.
But first you lived with Barbara.
Right, Barbara. But I didn't marry Barbara. I married Marjorie.
Then she got a divorce.
Right. Then I married Kitty.
Another divorce.
Then a couple years later, at Alicia's funeral, I ran into her. I was with some girl. I don't even remember.
Roberta.
Right, Roberta. But I couldn't take my eyes off you. I remember I snuck out over to this one and I said, what did I say?
You said, what are you doing after?
Right. So I ditched Roberta. We go for a coffee. A month later, we're married.
35 years today after our first marriage.
Exterior, New York Street, daytime. It's 5 years later. Sally walking down the street to a restaurant like Patulma. She looks even prettier now. She's wearing a loose blouse, full skirt, boots. Exterior, New York restaurant with a view, day. Two women, Marie and Alice, at a table for three. Marie is dark-haired, dark-eyed beauty.
That's
Alice is
debatable.
cute and plump. A married lady. Sally comes in and sits down as the others finish giving their drink orders to the waiter.
I went through his pockets in bed.
Marie, why'd you go through his pockets?
You know what I found?
No, what?
They just bought a dining room table. He and his wife just went out and spent $1,600 on a dining room table.
Where?
Huh. The point isn't where, Alice. The point is he's never going to leave her.
So what else is new? You've known this for 2 years.
You're right. I know you're right.
Why can't you find someone single? When I knew lots of nice single men. There must be somebody. Sally found somebody.
Sally got the last good one.
Joe and I broke up.
When?
Monday.
You waited 3 days to tell us?
You mean Joe's available?
Oh, for God's sakes, Marie. Don't you have any feelings about this? She's obviously upset.
I'm not that upset. We've grown apart for quite a while.
But you guys were couples. You had someone to go places with. You had a date on national holidays.
And I said to myself, you deserve more than this. You're 31 years old.
And the clock is ticking.
The clock doesn't really start to tick until you're 36.
God, you're in such great shape.
Well, I've had a few days to get used to it, and I feel okay.
Good. Then you're ready.
Marie takes out her Rolodex out of her satchel and starts to look through it.
Oh, really, Marie?
Well, how else do you think you do it?
She flips through the Rolodex and pulls out a card.
I got the perfect guy. I don't happen to find him attractive, but you might. She has no problem with chins.
Bree, I'm not ready.
But you just said you were over him.
I am over him, but I'm in the mourning period. Who is it?
Alex Anderson.
Ugh, you fixed me up with him 6 years ago.
Sorry.
God.
All right, wait. Here we go. Ken Darman.
He's been married for over a year.
Really married.
Marie takes Ken Darman's Rolodex card and dog-ears a corner of it and places it in the section at the back of the box. Then she pulls out another card.
Oh, wait. I got one.
Look, there's no point in my going out with someone I might really like if I meet him at the right time, but right now has the chance of being anything to me but a transitional man.
What's wrong with being a transitional man? Okay, but
Paused. I was like,
Raz seems to like him.
Okay, but don't wait too long. Remember what happened to David Walsaw? His wife left him and everyone said, give him some time, don't move in too fast. 6 months later, he was dead.
what are you saying? That I should marry someone right away in case they die?
At least you could say you were married.
I'm saying that the right man for you might be out there right now. And if you don't grab him, someone else will. And you'll have to spend the rest of your life knowing that someone else is married to your partner.
Exterior Shea Stadium, day. A wave is in progress. It sweeps around the stadium and passes by Harry and his friend Jess, sitting in the second deck, surrounded by Mets fans. It's fall. They're both wearing jeans and windbreakers. Harry is very despondent.
When did this happen?
Friday. Helen comes home from work and she said, I don't know if I want to be married anymore. Like it's the institution, you know, like it's nothing personal, just something she's been thinking about in a casual way. And I'm calm. I say, why don't we take some time to think about it? You know, don't rush into anything.
Yeah, right.
Next day, she said she's thought about it and she wants a trial separation. She just wants to try it, she says, but we can still date. Like this is supposed to cushion the blow. I mean, I got married so I can stop dating. So I don't see where we can still date as any big incentive, since the last thing you want to do is date your wife who's supposed to love you, which is what I'm saying to you. That's when it occurs to me that maybe she doesn't. So I say to her, don't you love me anymore? And you know what she says? I don't know if I've ever loved you.
A wave comes through the crowd and Harry and Jess stand and wave their hands.
Ooh, that's harsh.
They sit down.
You don't bounce back from that right away.
Thanks, Jess.
No, I am a writer, no dialogue, and that's particularly harsh.
Then she tells me that somebody in her office is going to South America and she can sublet his apartment. I can't believe this. And the doorbell rings. I can sublet his apartment. The words are still hanging in the air, you know, like in a balloon attached to a mouth.
Like in the cartoon.
Right. So I go to the door and there were moving men there. And now I start to get suspicious. I say, Helen, when did you call these movers? And she doesn't say anything. So I ask the movers, I say, when did this woman book you for this gig? And they're just standing there, three huge guys. One of them was wearing a t-shirt that says, don't mess with Mr. Zero. So I said, Helen, when did you make this arrangement? She said, a week ago. I said, you've known for a week and you didn't tell me? And she says, I didn't want to ruin your birthday.
A second wave comes through, and Harry and Jess stand and wave their hands.
You're saying Mr. Zero knew you were getting a divorce a week before you did?
Mr. Zero knew.
I can't believe this.
I haven't even told you the bad part yet.
Well, what could be worse than Mr. Zero knowing?
That it's all a lie. She's in love with somebody else, some tax attorney. She moved in with them.
How did you find this out?
I followed her. I stood outside the building.
So humiliating.
Tell me about it. And do you know I knew? I knew the whole time that even though we were happy, it was just an illusion. And one day she'll just kick the shit out of me.
Marriages don't break up on account of infidelity. It's just a symptom of something else that is wrong.
Oh, what? Oh, really? Well, that symptom is fucking my wife.
Another wave comes through, and they stand up. They sit down.
At least you got the apartment.
Harry just looks at him.
What?
Interior, Shakespeare and Company, day. Sally and Marie standing in the bookstore in a section called Personal Relationships, a shelf full of books. Marie is looking at something like Smart Women, Foolish Choices. Sally is looking at something like Safe Sex in Dangerous Times.
So I just happened to see his American Express bill.
What do you mean you just happened to see it?
Well, he was shaving and it was there in his briefcase.
What if he came out and saw you looking through his briefcase?
You're missing the point. I'm telling you what I found. He just spent $120 on a new nightgown for his wife. I don't think he's ever going to leave her.
No one thinks he's ever going to leave her.
You're right. You're right. I know you're right. This is my drinking game for tonight.
Marie looks up for a moment for a new book. Sees something.
Someone is staring at you in personal growth.
Sally glances over to the personal growth section. There's Harry.
I think I'm frozen.
No, I can see you.
All right. Oh, I know him. You'd like him. He's married.
Who is he?
Harry Burns. He's a political consultant.
Cute.
You think he's cute?
How do you know he's married?
Because the last time I saw him, he said he was getting married
When was that?
6 years ago.
So he might not be married anymore.
Also, he's obnoxious.
This is just like in the movie. Remember, like in The Lady Vanishes, when she says to him, "You're the most obnoxious man I have ever met,"
The most contemptible.
and they fall madly in love.
Also, he never remembers me.
Sally Albright.
Hi, Harry.
I thought it was you.
It is. This is Marie.
Marie is exiting down the stairs. She waves. Sally turns back to Harry. She shrugs.
Was Marie.
How are you?
Fine.
How's Joe?
Fine. I hear he's fine.
You're not with Joe anymore?
We just broke up.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's too bad.
Well, yeah, So what about you?
I'm fine.
How's married life?
Not so good. I'm getting a divorce.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? What happened with you guys?
Interior restaurant, daytime. Sally and Harry are having a coffee, maybe a glass of wine.
When Joe and I started seeing each other, we wanted exactly the same thing. We wanted to live together, but we did not want to get married because every time anyone we knew got married, it ruined their relationship. They practically never had sex again. It's true. It's one of those secrets that no one ever tells you. I would sit around with my girlfriends who have kids. Actually, this this girlfriend who has kids, Alice, and she and Jerry never did it anymore. And she didn't even complain about it. It was just like matter of factly. She said they were up all night, they were both exhausted all the time. The kids just took every sexual impulse out of them. Facts. Joe and I used to talk about it, and we just say we're so lucky. Like, we have this wonderful relationship. We can have sex on the kitchen floor and not worry about the kids walking in, or we can fly off to Rome at a moment's notice. And then one day I was taking Alice's little girl for the afternoon because I'd promised to take her to the circus. And we were in the cab playing I Spy Mailbox, I Spy Lamppost. And she looked out the window and she saw this man and this woman with these two little kids. And the man had the little kids, like one of the little kids, like on his shoulders. And she said, "I spy family." And I just started to cry. I just started crying. And I went home and I said, the thing is, Joe, we never fly off to Rome at a moment's notice.
And the kitchen floor?
Not once. It's cold, hard ceramic tile. Anyway, we talked about it for a long time, and I said, this is what I want. And he said, well, I don't. And I said, well, I guess it's over. And he left. The thing is, I feel really fine. I mean, I'm over him. I'm really over him. And that was it for him. And that was the most he could give. And every time I think about it, I am more and more convinced that I did the right thing.
Boy, you sound really healthy.
Yeah.
Exterior 77th Street. Dusk. Harry and Sally are walking together. The sun is setting.
At least I got the apartment.
That's what everybody says to me too. But really, what's so hard about finding an apartment? What you do is you read the obituary column. Yeah, you find out who died, go to the building, and then you tip the doorman. What they can do to make it easier is to combine the obituaries with the real estate section. Say, then you'd have Mr. Klein died today, leaving a wife, 2 children, and a spacious 3-bedroom apartment with a wood-burning fireplace.
Sally laughing.
You
A
know,
nice moment.
the first time I met you, I didn't really like you that much.
I didn't like you.
Yeah, you did. You were just so uptight. You're much softer now.
I hate that kind of remark. It sounds like a compliment, but it's really an insult.
Well, all right, you're still hard as nails.
I just didn't want to sleep with you, and you had to write it off as a character flaw instead of dealing with the possibility it might have something to do with you.
What's the statute of limitation on apologies?
10 years?
Ooh, I can get it in just under the wire.
Sally smiles. Then, after a beat, she makes the smallest of moves.
Would you like to have dinner with me sometime?
Are we becoming friends now?
Well, I guess we could.
Great. A woman friend. You may be the first attractive woman I have not wanted to sleep with in my entire life.
That's wonderful, Harry.
Documentary footage. Another couple on the couch.
We were both born in the same hospital,
1921
7 days apart.
in the same hospital.
Yep, both grew up a block away from each other
We both lived in tenements
on the Lower East Side.
on Delancey Street.
My family moved to the Bronx when I was 10.
They lived on Fordham Road.
Hers moved when she was 11.
I lived on 183rd Street.
For 6 years, she worked on the 15th floor as a nurse, where I had a practice on the 14th floor in the very same building.
I worked for a very prominent neurologist, Dr. someone or other, but we never met.
Never met.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah, you know where we met? In an elevator, in an Ambassador Hotel in Chicago, Illinois.
I was visiting family. They were on the 3rd floor and I was on the 12th.
Yep, I wrote up 9 extra floors just to keep talking to her.
9 extra floors. Oh.
Fade in. A tight shot of one of those toy felt birds that somehow is able to miraculously keep dunking its beak into a glass of water. Wider to reveal Harry is sitting in his face, sitting in his office, staring blankly at this ornithological phenomenon. As Harry stares, we hear the sound of a phone ringing. It is picked up by Sally.
Hello.
You sleeping?
Nah, I was watching Casablanca.
Channel, please.
11.
Thank you. Got it.
As Harry continues to stare at the bird, we hear a few lines of dialogue from Casablanca, of all the gin joints, etc. As Casablanca dialogues continues, we cut to Harry's apartment, day. Harry is trying to hang a picture in what is an otherwise virtually empty apartment. He checks the picture for replacement against the wall.
Now you're telling me you'll be happier with Victor Laszlo than Humphrey Bogart?
Holding his finger on the spot, he gently taps nail into the wall.
When did I say that?
When we drove to New York.
I never said that. I never would have said that.
All right, fine. Have it your way.
Harry gives the nail one more tap, and a big chunk of plaster comes out of the wall. Harry surveys it, then decides to leave the picture against the wall on the floor. He walks away. Interior Harry's apartment, day. Harry is sitting in his office in his one chair, trying to read a book. He has a thermometer in his mouth. He can't concentrate. He keeps reading the same paragraph over and over. Finally, he flips to the last page and reads.
How have you been sleeping?
Why?
Because I haven't been sleeping. I miss Helen. Maybe coming down with something. Last night I was up at 4 a.m. watching Leave It to Beaver in Spanish. Buenos dias, Señora Cleaver. ¿Dónde está Wallace Theodore? I'm not well.
Well, I went to bed at 7:30. I haven't done that since the 3rd grade.
Well, that's a good thing about depression. Gets you rest.
I'm not depressed.
Okay, fine. Do you still sleep on the same side of the bed?
I did for a while, but now I'm just pretty much using the whole bed.
God, it's great. I feel weird whenever just my legs wander over. I miss her.
Interior Chinese restaurant, night. Sally is going through a very detailed ordering session. The waiter is trying to keep up. Harry just stares.
I don't miss him. I really don't.
Not even a little?
You know what I miss? I think I miss the idea of him.
Maybe I only miss the idea of Helen. No, I miss the whole Helen.
Last scene.
Interior Sally's bedroom, night. Sally is in bed on the phone, watching Casablanca on TV and talking to. Interior Harry's bedroom, night. Harry in bed on the phone, watching Casablanca, cut back and forth or use split screen.
Ooh, Ingrid Bergman. Now she's low maintenance.
Low maintenance.
Yeah, there are two types of women, high maintenance and low maintenance.
And Ingrid Bergman is low maintenance.
And LM definitely.
Well, which one am I?
Oh, well, you're the worst kind. You're high maintenance, but you think that you're low maintenance.
I don't see that.
You don't see that? Waiter, I'll begin with a house salad, but I don't want the regular dressing. I'll have the balsamic vinegar and oil, but on the side. And then the salmon with the mustard sauce, but I want the mustard sauce on the side. On the side's a very big thing for you.
Well, I just want it the way that I want it.
I know. High maintenance.
Sally smiling. Bogart says, Louis, this will be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Best line of a movie ever.
As the movie ends,
I'm definitely coming down with something. Probably a 24-hour tumor they're going around.
You don't have a tumor.
How do you know?
If you're so worried, go see a doctor.
No, he'll just tell me it's nothing.
Will you be able to sleep?
If not, I'll be okay.
What will you do?
I'll stay up and moan. Maybe I should practice now. Oh.
Good night, Harry.
Oh. Good night.
As he continues to moan, they hang up. Exterior Lincoln Center, day. Harry and Sally walking past a Henry Moore sculpture.
I had my dream again, where I'm making love and the Olympic judges are watching. I've nailed the compulsory, so this is it, like, the finals. I got a 9.8 from the Canadian, a perfect 10 from the American, and my mother, disguised as an East German judge, gave me a 5.6. Must have been the dismount.
Exterior Central Park Arbor, day. Harry and Sally in the park on a gorgeous fall day. They're sharing a big pretzel.
Well, basically, it's the same one I've been having since I was 12.
And what happens?
No, it's too embarrassing.
Don't tell me.
Okay, there's this guy.
What's he look like?
I don't know. He's just kind of faceless.
Faceless guy? Okay. And then what?
He rips off my clothes.
And then what happens?
And that's it.
That's it? A faceless guy rips off your clothes, and that's the sex fantasy you've been having since you were 12. Exactly the same.
Well, sometimes it varies a little
Which part?
what I'm wearing.
Interior Metropolitan Museum, dusk. Harry and Sally are walking through the Egyptian temple exhibit.
I have decided that for the rest of the day, we are going to talk like this.
Like this.
No, please, to repeat after me. Peppa.
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 Pepper.
Pepper.
Waiter, is there too much pepper in my paprikash?
Waiter, is there too much pepper
On my paprikash.
on my paprikash?
But I would be proud to partake of your pecan pie.
Oh. No.
But I would be proud
But I would be proud
to partake
to partake
of your pecan pie.
of your pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Pecan pie.
Would you like to go to the movie with me tonight?
Would you like to go? Would.
No. Not to repeat, please to answer. Would you like to go to the movie with me tonight?
Well, I'd love to, Harry, but I can't.
What? Do you have a hot date?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you about it, but then I don't know, I just didn't. I just felt really strange.
Why?
Well, because we've been spending so much time together.
Oh, well, I think it's great that you have a date.
You do?
Yeah. Is that what you're going to wear?
Yeah. Well, I don't know why.
I think you should wear skirts more. You look really good in skirts.
I do.
Yeah. I have a theory that hieroglyphics are really an ancient comic strip about a character named Sphinxy.
Harry, I think I should get out there. I think you should get out there too.
Oh no, I'm not ready.
You should.
I would not be good for anybody right now.
It's time.
Interior Harry's apartment, day. Harry and Sally are unrolling a new rug.
It was the most uncomfortable night of my life.
Oh. See, no, it has to go this way. The first day back is always the toughest, Harry.
We only had one date. How do you know it's not going to get worse?
How much worse can it get than finishing dinner, having him reach over, pull a hair out of my head, and start flossing with it at the table?
We're talking dream dates compared to my horror. It started out fine. She's a very nice person, and we're sitting and we're talking at this Ethiopian restaurant that she wanted to go to. And I was making jokes, like, hey, I didn't know that they had food in Ethiopia. This will be a quick meal. What? I'll order 2 empty plates and we can leave. Yeah, nothing from her, not even a smile, because the joke was really awful. So I downshift into small talk and I ask her where she went to school. And she says, Michigan State. And this reminds me of Helen. All of a sudden, I'm in the middle of like this mess of an anxiety attack. My heart's beating like a wild man. I start sweating like a pig.
Helen went to Michigan State?
No, she went to Northwestern, but they're both Big Ten schools. I got so upset I had to leave the restaurant.
Harry, I think this takes a long time. It might be months before we're actually able to enjoy going out with someone new,
Yeah.
and maybe longer before we're actually able to go to bed with somebody.
Oh, I went to bed with her.
You went to bed with her?
Sure.
Oh,
Interior batting cage in Queens, day. Harry and Jess with bats in hand as the machine waits for them to put in quarters.
I don't understand this relationship.
What do you mean?
You enjoy being with her.
Yeah.
You find her attractive.
Yeah.
And you're not sleeping with her.
No.
You're free to let yourself be happy.
Why can't you give me credit for this? This is a big thing for me. I never had a relationship with a woman that didn't involve sex. I feel like I'm growing.
2 9-year-olds are waiting to use the batting cage and are watching Harry and Jess just stand there.
You finished yet?
Hey, I got a whole stack of quarters and I was here first.
We're not.
Was two.
We're not.
Was two.
You big jerk.
You little creep. Where was I?
You were growing.
Yeah. It's very freeing. I can say anything to her.
Are you saying you can say things to her that you can't say to me?
Nah, it's just different. It's a whole new perspective. I get the woman's point of view on things. She tells me about the men she goes out with, and I can talk to her about the woman that I see.
You tell her about other women?
Yeah, like the other night, I made love to this woman, and it was so incredible. I took her to a place that, wasn't human. She actually meowed.
You made a woman meow?
Yeah, that's the point. I can say these things to her. And the great thing is, I don't have to lie because I'm not always thinking about how to get her into bed. I can just be myself.
You made a woman meow?
Exterior Carnegie Delicatessen, day. Harry and Sally each are about to eat a large pastrami sandwich.
so what do you do with these women? You just get out of bed and leave?
Sure.
Well, explain to me, how do you do it? Like, what do you say?
You'd say you have an early meeting, an early haircut, or a squash game.
You don't play squash.
They don't know that. They just met me.
That's disgusting.
I know. I feel terrible.
I'm glad I never got involved with you. I would have ended up being some woman you had to get up out of bed to and leave at 3 o'clock in the morning and clean your androins, and you don't have a fireplace. Not that I would have noticed.
Why are you getting so upset? This isn't about you.
Yes, it is. You're a human affront to all women, and I am a woman.
Hey, I don't feel great about this, but I don't hear anyone complaining.
Of course not. You're out the door too fast.
I think they have an okay time.
How do you know?
Well, A, because I made a woman meow. B, what do you mean, how do I know they know? I know.
Because they...
Yeah, because they...
How do you know they really?
What are you saying? That they fake orgasm?
Possible.
Get out of here.
Why? Most women at one time or another have faked it.
Well, they haven't faked it with me
How do you know?
because I know.
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot you're a man.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It's just that all men are sure that it's never happened to them, and that most women at one time or another have done it. So you do the math.
You don't think that I could tell the difference?
Nope.
Get out of here.
Sally just stares at Harry. A seductive look comes onto her face. Slowly, she laughs into the beginning of what builds to be a wild orgasm.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
You okay?
Oh. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, right there. Oh God. Yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, oh.
Sally finishes, takes another bite of her sandwich, smiles innocently, hold on Harry in shock, and the rest of the customers and the waiters who couldn't help but overhear Sally's performance.
I'll have what she's having.
First of all, second of all,
First of all,
first of all that. Second of all, to block that memory out, we're going to be back at 8:30, so we're getting a 26-minute intermission so I can go drink this out of my brain.
Hey, good job.
Yay, great job, Michelle, for real. So we'll see you back here at 8:30.
I've had practice faking it.
oh.
All of us have. You're not special.
You said your husband's not watching this, right?
At one time or another. So
8:30.
Okay. Choo-choo.
Lord. Hey, Ginger, I know you're muted. Not a big deal. I have the poster ready for the room, by the way.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to get the
Script.
no, well, I'm doing the script and then I gotta get the
Titties.
what?
Titties.
The titties? Okay, sure. Okay.
The what?
Drew said titties.
I'm
Well, I
suggesting
mean-
everything but the word that she's looking for.
I mean, hey, I'm here for it. So,
cover art.
well, yeah. I mean, I just threw the poster up because for some reason, I mean, again, we've all had weeks.
Yeah.
My fake pregnant ass was still on the cover photo, and I'm like, let me throw our poster up there so at least it's something in theme.
What dear? So how are things?
You know what? They're good. If only because my mail situation got sorted literally today. I was telling Michelle about that earlier.
She had a giant box waiting for her.
Yes. Well, no, a
Oh,
full
yeah.
box.
A full box.
Yeah, because Michelle asked me earlier. She literally goes, "Were they able to fit all that mail in there?" And I'm like, "I'm not even touching this."
Push it through the slot, did they?
Yes.
Slowly, one
Okay.
at a time.
Yeah, you're hilarious. Okay, all y'all's chemistry for one, brilliant.
This is a
So
tight
good.
cast.
Michelle, you're so fucking great.
Well,
Fantastic.
It's making it easy because being deadpan and an asshole is, a little bit second nature, but the
excuse me, we call
the
that being
flirting
Billy
part is
Crystal.
easy when
It's so fun playing opposite you. It just feels like natural.
Yeah, you guys have really good
I
chemistry.
agree.
Yes. And
No.
and Michelle,
I would be
go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave.
I was gonna say I would be absolutely wrong as the man in the scenario to not let Michelle take all the credit.
Well,
But
no, y'all are just killing it. And I'm assuming, Michelle, that when you went dark before the diner scene, that you were telling Sid earmuffs or headphones.
Come on, turn the TV on.
As soon as I saw you vanish, I'm like, I know exactly what she's doing, and she doesn't even have to say it.
He acts like
Great.
it's like the zombie apocalypse. He's like, oh God. But like full disclosure, like I do think it's that social construct with women where women feel like they have to fake it in bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for like a lot of my late teens, early 20s. And then I had a really good friend of mine before I got married, and we just became like friends with benefits.
Mhm.
And he like stopped one day and he was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, well, it's just like, I want it to be over and it's not going to happen. So I'm just kind of like, he's like, don't do that. He's like, you're not helping anyone because whoever your partner is, they think they're doing a good job. And so you're not telling them that they're not. So it was then that I stopped doing that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
very honest with was from then on very honest with partners. Like, it's just not going to happen tonight. It's just unfortunately a thing with women. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And
Right.
Communication, honest to God, is just key. I'm sorry, Ginger. Go ahead.
No, I
Right.
was saying, yeah, agreeing.
It's also, we tie so much of our self-worth into our sexuality.
exactly.
First of
Correct.
all, like as a woman, we feel like we're almost emasculating the man if we don't have.
Right.
Also, then we internalize what's wrong with us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, right away as women, that's what we're going to do. If there's obviously something wrong with us, and it's just there's so much emphasis put on self-worth tied to it. That's the
Right.
biggest issue, I think. I mean, communication,
And it's-
obviously, but
right. Well, and it's interesting too because then we get into like the entire like societal knowledge that like whenever whenever cishet men are like having sex and it's just, you know, your stereotypical PIV penetration, then the goal is for them to get themselves off and maybe
Correct.
the woman also gets off. Like there's not really an exchange. So then it takes the guy actually paying attention for one, and then also takes that amount of communication to like actually check and make sure that you're not just like doing what serves you as the person doing the penetrating. And then
Right.
like, I don't know, it's all very
Also,
like
it came
getting
from, yeah, as a woman that I was like, if I'm gonna be in this, I'm gonna get some enjoyment out of it.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So I could tell a PG-13 story. So this one guy had been on a few dates way a long time ago, probably before most of y'all were even born. So went on a date with this guy and like a few dates or whatever, and it was like we were making out and he licks the back of my knee. And I just like stopped and went,
Heard of that before, actually. I've never experienced it, but
I was
like,
and he's like, oh yeah, you like that? I was like, not really. Like it's weird and like soggy and like no. He's like, yeah, you
Ew.
like it. I was like, no, I don't. And he said, like, well, every other girl I've been with loves it. I said, no, they don't. Fact check. They were not. And he's like, all of
You
them.
probably
I said,
saved that guy's
"No."
life.
I was like, buddy likes this. And he's like, oh, well, I've been doing it to women for years. I said, stop doing it. Just stop doing it. And that was kind of the end of that. But yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
he's like, women love it. And I was like, no, we don't. Like, what? At first I thought,
Who
like,
licks a knee like that? Like for
Right?
real?
At first you have to think, well,
That
maybe
just like,
mistake. And then like he intentionally went for it. And I was like, okay, hold on. No, back up.
it's like toes,
I just-
right? It's very similar. Like it's gross, but
I
some
feel
people
like
are like,
toes are,
I feel like toes can be
I feel like
seductive.
toes are even more understandable than the back of your
The back
knee.
of your
It's
knee.
Yeah, they have
so-
the weird box.
It's
well, it's
so-
just more well known, maybe though. Like who
Just for him to say
knows? I mean,
all
not
the
for
way
you,
to the-
obviously. That
Yeah.
wasn't.
It's
you
so
know you like it. No, I know that I don't.
it's so oddly
That's the worst
specific.
too.
Yeah,
Like convincing you of your pleasure.
yeah, you
If
really
you have to convince me.
no
Right.
thanks.
If you have to tell me I like something, chances are I'm
that's
not.
just
Not working.
You
Yeah.
don't.
it's bizarre. Like for
You
real.
know you like it.
That's all.
I don't.
No, no.
But okay.
Said no one ever.
Like,
Quite literally said no one ever.
stop doing that to women.
I feel
I'm
like
sure there's at least one
being-
woman somewhere that likes it.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be the exception.
Well, obviously, but
Oh, my tax return's hitting on Monday. Sorry, I'm checking billing
Nice.
stuff before I
Your
send.
tax return is back already?
I filed that shit ASAP
So
because
did I.
I
need to
I
file
need-
mine.
I need that money to go see to not only get my car ready, but I have car insurance. I have an Airbnb to finish paying off, which
Your
I'm actually
oil
doing right
change.
now. Oil change, tire rotation, all that stuff. More presents for the nieces. I still need to. I also need to get really good vodka for Andrea as well.
That's just what you need. Got to think about the needs of your car too.
I was waiting for it, honestly.
God dang it.
Yeah.
You know who this is, right?
I caught myself because I was gonna say.
Girl, COVID's been hard. All of us need our tires
Well,
rotated.
I was gonna
Tell you
say.
what.
Well, I was gonna say, Mona, do you want to check my oil? But I'm not gonna do that. We're
I don't
both.
think either one of us want that.
No, we've known each other way too long for that, and it would just be weird. It'd be weirder than Harry and Sally.
I'm so glad you caught yourself just in time to tell us anyway.
Yes. Also, my Carrie Fisher-ness, because y'all can't see my socks. Luckily, I took them off. I got this from from Left Bank, but it's Reed. It's our only hope. It's my Princess Leia socks.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
That's beautiful.
I'm not showing you my panties, but they're Star Wars as well. So I was like, I'm theming today.
Oh, Sarah.
I had like so many ideas, and I had texted my family and said, you know, I'm gonna have to leave early, and I even I made everyone push the time of our lunch back, did
Mhm.
all of that. Then my sister was late,
Yeah.
and I literally like had outfits that I had planned and like costume changes and things like
Mhm.
that, and none of it happened. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was wearing a very nondescript sweater anyway.
Hey,
Works.
I was honestly wondering if you're gonna spit grapes or something at the camera, but I'm okay with it.
I didn't, so I really wanted to, but I'm on my work computer, and also
That's
I
fair.
couldn't stop at the store for grapes.
Can we also say like, okay, like this, like we've been correcting small things, but like the film and the script are a little dated, but like I still love Billy Crystal in this. But I don't love him as much as I love him in. Has anyone
Yeah.
here seen Forget Paris?
Yes.
Forget Paris is it's
Oh.
probably my favorite Billy Crystal film.
I love Billy Crystal.
Love
Well,
him so much.
well, the pigeon scene in Forget Paris is what gets me.
Billy Crystal, I always feel, is underrated as an actor because everyone just thought he was like a hokey jokey kind of like stand-up comedian kind of guy, but
Stand up is awesome too.
Oh god, yeah.
I feel like my introduction to him was in The Princess Bride, so I never actually knew his age. And then I was watching When Harry Met Sally, like for the second time, like once I actually knew who Billy Crystal was. And I was like, wait, this like it's not super far apart. Like Billy Crystal wasn't actually that old in The Princess Bride. And it took till like a week ago for me to get that.
Aw.
But his voice, like his like the timbre and just like the tone and the way that he
Yeah.
speaks, like
Yeah.
none of that really changed. So the whole time I'm watching When Harry Met Sally for the like I had watched it before, but when I'm rewatching it, I'm just hearing "Have fun storming the castle."
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's literally either it's that, this movie, couple lines out of Forget Paris, or For Me, and I'm sorry that my phone is beep. But for me, it's always gonna be a Mike Wazowski quote more often than not for me.
Yeah,
right.
same.
See, I grew up on City Slickers. That was like one of my
That-
favorite movies.
Yeah.
City Slickers is great. I'm trying to think of anything else that he was.
He was really
in.
funny in it was a very just like cheeky part in America's Sweetheart.
Yes, I was gonna say that. That's
Yeah.
really creepy that you knew exactly where my mind was going.
It is very cheeky, like back and forth, kind of like fast dialogue with
Yes.
him. He was really good at that.
He was, until I realized how problematic the role was. I don't know if anyone has seen. There was an old sitcom called Soap, which was like a
Where he played a gay
Yeah.
guy, Jody.
Well, you and I know why it's problematic because disclosure.
Yeah.
But
What show was he in?
Soap, which was actually
I
one of the
love that
greatest-
show, but it's definitely from its time.
Yes.
The other day for the first time in like 10 years, and I was like, fucking shit, dude. And it was one of my favorite movies ever. And I was like,
What movie was it?
Soap Dish.
Yeah. Oh god.
Like,
Okay.
I haven't watched it in like 10 years, and it's on
Mhm.
like one of my streaming things. I was like, oh, I'll have it on in the background while I'm working on stuff. And then like 10 minutes in, I was like, oh shit. And then like I was like, well, maybe it clears up, and then it just takes a tumble all the way down to the end where it's like, she's a man. I was like, ah, damn it.
Okay. And
But
here's
like, sorry, go.
No. Well, I was gonna say very briefly. It's problematic as hell. It's very disturbing at the end, especially when you look at it now. I will say though, I can kind of forgive it only because of the cast. Because I love like literally it's Carrie Fisher, it's Terry Hatcher, it's Whoopi Goldberg, Robert Downey Jr.,
It's such a
Kathy
great
fucking
cast.
Moriarty in
Yeah.
the controversial role.
And they all just play naturally so well off of each other. Like,
But it's like everything, right? Like Boy Meets World, Friends, everything is hard to
back
watch
then.
now.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry for our generation, but like we didn't like.
I mean, some of it you just have to give a pass because what else is left if you
We
don't?
didn't know it was problematic.
Right.
Like, at the time, Friends was very
Right.
forward thinking for us because there was a lesbian couple and it was just the norm. Like it wasn't talked about, it wasn't focused on, it wasn't traumatic. It was just Ben has two moms.
Right.
Ross's ex-wife is a lesbian, and they showed them on screen. So that was like, oh well, for the time, I'm like, this is super forward thinking. Just like with, Law and Order, when I watched the earlier episodes and they used, some very problematic language that we don't use now, but the writers made sure to correct it over time. But yeah, we thought we were trying to be forward thinking in the 90s, but we still made some stumbles.
I've had a lot of conversations between Emma and then with my roommate, because like Emma's she loves older movies and shows and stuff like that, and she just kind of she knows that there's a lot of problematic stuff that happens, but she's like, you have to view it in the context of when it happened. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we just thought was okay as a society that we now know is not okay. And so then watching them with my roommate, they'll be like really, really upset by things. And there are a lot of movies, like especially like in the early 2000s, that we watch and we're like, holy shit, we didn't realize how bad that was. Like,
we've been
over the last couple of weeks.
Well, and it makes you wonder what's going to happen.
And it's bad. Like there's like I love the hell out of Will and Grace, especially like growing up and like like in around that time, like like that was like middle school and high school for me. Like like I loved that, and that was one of the few things that I could see like quote unquote gay role models and whatnot. But like watching that back now, like I'm like, oh my god, like I cannot like first off, some of the jokes you're like, wow, like that is super insensitive, and like I distinctly remember laughing at that and thinking that it was okay back then, but like we've like, I've grown since, but at the same time it's hard for us because we make so much progress, but then our shows and our role models don't necessarily develop as fast as everything else.
Right.
So when you've got new people coming up, their role models, their gay icons for TV and shows and movies are often problematic roles.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what are people going to say about TV and movies now that we think are progressive, and in 30 years time, what's going to change? Not change. I don't know if that's even the right word, but
progress.
Yeah. What realizations we have made by then? Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
There's a really good line in the book, So You Want to Talk About Race, where Ojimo Olomo is talking about, like, I want in 20 years to be the cranky conservative. I hope 20 years from now, like my views are out of date. And I'm like, yes, I hope people are going to take what we're doing now and like keep going. So yeah, I predict 30 years from now, I'll be old conservative, like fighting for gay rights. People are like, oh, what are you doing?
I'm just hoping that the word conservative never enters my mouth. It's like a friend of my parents of a friend of mine from grade school, few years back, were like, you say you're liberal now, but just wait till your 30s.
Oh, I know. I heard that too.
As someone who's in
everybody has said that to me.
40s, that's not true. And I've always said to older people when I was growing up, they're like, you'll be fiscally conservative and socially
bullshit.
I was like, so what you're telling me is that your money is more important to you than the rights of other people.
And what's going on that I want to conserve?
Correct.
Like what looking around, what do I want to keep?
Well, I mean, like, I'll give you a perfect example, and then we'll jump into of this in practice. I'll give you an example of this, and then we'll jump back in. I mean, like, Michelle kind of had to like help loosen my purse strings for this trip to even happen. I was like, I don't know, I'm really in a weird place right now, and it just became, just fucking do it.
Do it. Like you're not spending money, like you're not going to buy like a $10,000 Birkin bag. Then we might need to sit down and have a talk.
Hell, first of all, I have taste, so I would never buy a Birkin bag.
But you're going for the experience. You're going to see your essentially chosen family and her baby.
Right.
You're introducing your future wife to them. It's not about the money, it's about the experience. So stop focusing on the money part. When you're on your deathbed,
definitely
like, oh, I wish I would have saved that money and not gone to Maryland. Like, you're gonna be like, I should have gone to see my nieces. So.
And I mean, what's also funny is the week that we're driving there, our stop in Indianapolis, I think we're gonna have to like either stop and exit before or after, not because Indiana, but because they have the NCAA playoffs that week. So, so yeah. Well, with that, welcome back, everybody. If you've been here during this very amazing discussion
TED
of,
Talk.
group TED Talk, here for it.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk.
Thank you for very that.
Yes.
I'm going to quickly go over our future things, and then I'm going to turn it over to Danny to explain why we need to give them all our money. So, coming up next on March the 6th, we have The Room, the actual wonderful script. I'm reading through this, Ginger, by the way, and this is going to be amazing. Just the way that Tommy Wiseau wrote this damn script.
Yeah, it's going to be an event.
So I
watched it
need
on
you guys
YouTube,
to know. So like the other night, like Ginger is like typing up the script because like it won't move over
I got
from the one
confused
thing to the
about
other.
scenes. Yeah.
So she's typing up the script and like trying to do like two things at once and whatnot. And I was like, you could probably just dictate that and it would take half the time. So like we set up like the dictation. And then I stood there for like 10 minutes while she's dictating this script, and she did it like
Deadpan.
reading it just completely deadpan. And I was like, wow, it's sad that this has more emotion than the actual fucking movie, and you're just dictating the script like to Google, so you're being as deadpan as possible to like get the words to be correct. And I was like, there's still more fucking emotion in this than the whole movie.
I mean, I'm looking forward to this so much, and it's for a really good cause.
I can't wait to watch this.
This is gonna be.
I like how Kelsey and Sarah are going to be flipped because you're going to be the mom.
Yeah, I just there's something just about how terrible that movie is and that line that I get to say that I want to say, and I'm gonna be saying totally in character. I'm gonna actually let Ginger say who that one is for in terms of our fundraiser.
So we're hoping to raise some money for our tenant, Rabanse, who's currently doing a live stream on, I think, birdo.com, something like that. Anyway, but we're raising money to facilitate her name change and gender marker change on her license
Hell
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
Which in the state of Illinois, between doing all of the things and the newspaper and all of that, like it's usually, at least for the name change, was in around 400, 450.
Yeah.
And then she's also got to do gender marker and whatnot. So we're hoping to have somewhere around 500 or so ready for her so that she can just get those things done.
That's the goal for that one.
Beautiful.
I'm actually gonna let Sean and Danny talk about the one for the 20th. I'm gonna be gone for once. I get to relax.
Oh my God.
I'm excited to watch somebody
Sean,
else
you can go first.
Yes. So whoever wants to talk about.
I didn't know that I was part of the producer conversation about
I mean,
this.
I tagged you. We're gonna tag team this. This was our excitement.
It's like your favorite movie ever.
Yes.
Yes. Come on, dude.
Yes.
So somebody talk. Come on.
Okay, I'll jump.
Yeah,
So
Sean,
we're
you
going to be
should go
doing Perks of Being a Wallflower, the iconic emotional drama of Perks of Being a Wallflower. And so TBD on casting and TBD on benefit of that, but I'm kind of rolling through a script right now. Great script. In terms of problematic things, I feel like this script is going to be pretty easy for us kind of on air to make work.
Well,
So
we're not gonna have to
we have had
correct
some rough
everything.
ones lately.
It's not as bad. Like, okay, there was things that. Okay, Juno was definitely the worst of them.
That was surprising.
Like, well, it's just like on paper.
yeah.
On paper, it's not as bad until it started. Like Mark's special room, totally innocuous on paper. Till Danny said it, I was like, totally. I'm like, I don't see the problem with this. Then I'm like,
Don't like that.
But speaking of Danny, the floor is yours, my friend. Go ahead and speak.
So I'm going to talk, and I actually was direct messaged by Elizabeth, and she asked if she could also say something. And I'm a lot better at letting other people talk than I am at talking about myself. So I actually saw a tweet that kind of put this into perspective for me, because whenever Ginger and Sarah first said, hey, we're going to do this to kind of benefit your top surgery stuff, I remember like frantically texting Ginger and going, holy shit, but my surgery is in December. Like, are you sure you want to do this? And she was like, Danny, it's not going to be over by then. Like basically, or whatever you said, that was just like,
Yeah.
you're probably going, it's going to be still a thing. And it is February 20th, and yes, correct. I was able, my initial, like, the last few months have been an absolute whirlwind. I was really grateful to have a really good return from my benefit show, that a lot of people were, had so much fun with. And that helped cover the entirety of like the first round of medical bills, the initial consultation stuff. It was able to like help me kind of supplement my partner's groceries while she basically waited on me hand and foot for 3 weeks, which mad shout out to my girlfriend, because she had to put up with my ass for 3 entire weeks. And just kind of like, so I had seen this tweet, and it was like, whenever you're donating to someone's surgery fund, you're not just saying like, oh, we'll cover their medical bills. You're also thinking about every bit of their rehabilitation. For me, very strange, like strangely intimate thing to say, but also a major cost for me is getting my nipples tattooed on. Would have been a lot more expensive if I would have done the graft, but the tattoo is coming up on Friday, so that's in the front of my mind. So yeah, I won't, I will not have a bare chest starting on Friday. But like, you're paying for effectively them to have a cushion to not worry about while they're trying to get back to their normal life. So like, I was talking to everyone before about how like there's also been, I've been working with a massage therapist who's also a trans guy, who's been working with me on posture correction and stuff like that. There really has, and I even was flabbergasted by this. Whenever you're donating to somebody's surgery fund, it's really kind of a living number, as I've found out in a really very real way. But it also just is, it's more than just saying, here, you don't have to worry about your medical costs, or here, like, insurance covered XYZ. There's so much about life that has to be worked out. So with that, like, I'm insanely grateful for every single person who's contributed so far. And I'm really grateful that I have all of you in my life, because like the players and just being part of these script reads have like been some of my favorite evenings that I've gotten to spend. So I'm grateful for you all in general, but yeah, anyway. So, and then Elizabeth texted me and asked if she could talk for a second. So I'm gonna let her do that.
I just wanted to say it is really hard for me to think of somebody that deserves this outpouring of love and support more than Danny. I feel like I've known Danny most of my life, even though it's only been a couple years. I feel like, as I've told Danny before, we kind of share the same brain, and to be able to have Danny to support me through hard times has been a godsend. It's been so wonderful, and to see the Danny I met and the Danny that I see now is, sorry, it's wonderful. It's the Danny I met was a beautiful person,
Jesus,
but
3 years ago.
you were in your shell, right? You were shaky, you were uncertain. You are so confident now. You are not shaking anymore. You are still. You are in front of us, and you are not looking for where you belong, because you are right here. And I am just so happy that you have found yourself, and we have gotten to see it and see this transformation. And there, like I said, there are very few people that deserve this support as much as Danny does, and I'm so happy to be your friend.
I
Goodness.
love you.
Why are you
Oh,
gonna stop wearing
Jesus.
makeup to these things?
I was
Oh.
like, this was supposed to be the script reading that we did and all cry.
Well, no, I will
Thank
no,
you.
that is a
You're
lie
right,
because
yeah.
I will be crying at the end because you'll see. I will also echo that, and that Ginger just posted something in the comments, and I'm going to echo that as well. I think the first time that I met you, Danny, was the Pride Scott Talon or whatever the hell it was at the Monocle. I just remember seeing this kid
Jesus.
with this gold Rod Roddy jacket on, killing it, but there could have been more done, and I was trying to be really nice that night because I'd been in that position, and
You gave me the nicest feedback.
yeah, I wrote everybody a book, okay? Because I knew how hard that is to do that, especially for something like Pride, which I'm not going to get into because we'll be here all night on that. That being said, like I echo that completely. Like you've emerged so much even before your surgery, but like even more so now. And as a partner of someone who's also been on that end as well, it's so moving to see. So plug yo shit and let's get on with this. Where can the people give you money?
So I didn't I hadn't set up any sort of like funnel for this, so I'm just kind of taking direct donations. Both my Cash App and my Venmo are just I go by Danny, which is fun because I have just been kind of correcting every single person in my life. Actually, before I came out, I was still correcting people on my name. So it's just IGOBYDANI, and that's Venmo and Cash App. So yeah.
Yes.
But more importantly, Cash App, because
Because that
And
part.
because they're super LGBT friendly.
That too. Yay! Okay. What is
I'm gonna run. I feel like my front door's open, so while the narration is happening, I'm gonna try that.
Well, you're good. I mean, we can pause. And I feel like
No, it's good. It was closed. I just my dog got out the other day because I didn't realize that the door was open, and luckily she just sat on the stoop and barked at people. But like,
why does
By
it
the way,
sound
can
like?
I say Raz is being so good today?
Yeah.
She's just sitting there.
This
She's not
is-
moving at all. I am so proud of her.
I have no clue where it came from.
Good
like when she
girl.
comes
Good
up.
baby.
It makes it. It's very much like when my asshole Leia just comes up and like walks up here, like from just like, oh, it's your scene. Let me interrupt.
Yeah.
Sean,
Yep.
Act 2, let's go.
Let's go. Interior New Year's Eve party night. We know it's New Year's Eve because people are wearing funny hats, and there's one of those mirrored things hanging from the ceiling and casting twinkling lights on a fairly large crowd of revelers in a large room somewhere in Manhattan. A band is playing. Harry and Sally are dancing. Harry dips her.
I like you without your beard. You can see your face.
Hey, it is my face. Whoa, dipping you.
I really want to thank you for taking me out tonight.
Don't be silly. The next New Year's Eve, if neither of one of us is with anybody, you got a date.
Deal. See, now we can dance cheek to cheek.
Mm.
They dance for a moment. He glances at Sally, and for a split second, we see the beginnings of something. An inkling, a little tender moment.
Now do it.
Why you gotta fuck it up like that?
I'm sorry.
God damn it. Mutephius. Hey everybody! 10 seconds to New Year!
Hey, you want to get some air?
And now we hear 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Everyone kisses. Harry and Sally kiss. It's very awkward. Should it be platonic? Should it be more? They break. It's slightly uncomfortable.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Documentary footage.
Well, He was the head counselor for the boys' camp, and I was the head counselor for the girls' camp. And they had a social one night, and he walked across the room, and I thought he was coming to talk to my friend Maxine, because, well, people were always crossing rooms to talk to Maxine. But he was coming to me, and he said,
I'm Ben Small of the Coney Island Smalls.
and at that moment, I knew the way that you know, like about a good melon.
You thump it on the head?
Exterior West Broadway, near restaurant, early evening. Sally and her friend Marie walking down the street on their way to a restaurant.
You sent your flowers to yourself?
$60 I spent on this arrangement. That sounds like me. Of flowers, and I wrote a card that I planned to leave at the front table. Arthur would just happen to see it.
What did the card say?
Please say yes, love, Jonathan.
Did it work?
Oh, he never even came over. He forgot this charity thing that his wife was the chairman of. He's never going to leave her.
Of course he isn't.
You're right. I know you're right. Where is this place?
Somewhere down the next block.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Look, Harry is one of my best friends, and you are one of my best friends. If by some chance you two hit it off, then we could all still be friends. Instead of drifting apart the way you do when you get involved with someone who doesn't know your friend.
You and I haven't drifted apart since I started seeing Arthur.
Sally stops walking, turns to Marie.
If Arthur were to ever leave his wife and I actually met him, I'm sure that you and I would drift apart.
He's never going to leave her.
Of course he isn't.
You're right. I know you're right.
Exterior West Broadway, near restaurant, night. Harry and his friend Jess coming down the street.
I just don't know about this.
It's just a dinner.
I've finally gone to the new place in my life where I'm comfortable with the fact that it's just me and my work. If she's so great, why aren't you taking her out?
How many times do I have to tell you? We're just friends.
So you're saying she's not that attractive?
No, I told you she is attractive.
Yeah, but you also said she has a good personality.
She has a good personality.
Jess makes a precisely my point gesture.
What?
When someone is not that attractive, they're always described as having a good personality.
Look, if you had asked me, what does she look like? And I said, she has a good personality, that means she's not attractive. But just because I happen to mention that she has a good personality, she could be either. She could be attractive with a good personality, or she could be not attractive with a good personality.
So which one is she?
Attractive.
But not beautiful, right?
Harry glares at him. Interior restaurant. Harry, Jess, Sally, and Marie are at the table. A waiter has just brought them drinks.
So, Harry, you and Marie are both from New Jersey.
Marie.
It was my fault. Muty met Sally, so I get for making the joke. Really?
Where are you from?
South Orange,
Haddonfield.
which is actually where Deborah Hill from Halloween is from. Hence, that's how the town got its name. Ah!
They all look at each other. Then they look at their menus.
So, what are we going to order?
Well, I'm going to start with the grilled radicchio.
Jess, Sally is a great orderer. Not only does she always pick the best thing on the menu, but she orders it in a way that the chef didn't even know how good it could be.
Sally shoots Harry a look.
I think restaurants have become too important.
I agree. Restaurants are to people in the 80s what theater was to people in the 60s. I read that in a magazine.
I wrote that.
Get out of here.
No, I did. I wrote that.
I've never quoted anything from a magazine in my life. That's amazing. Don't you think that's amazing? And you wrote it?
Everyone nods. An awkward pause.
I also wrote pesto is the quiche of the 80s.
Get over yourself.
I did.
Where did I read that?
New York Magazine.
Sally writes for New York Magazine.
You know, that piece had a real impact on me. I mean, I don't know much about writing, but
Well, it spoke to you. And that pleases me.
I mean, really, you have to admire people who can be that articulate.
Harry and Sally look on as Marie and Jess start to chatter.
Nobody has ever quoted me back to me before.
Exterior West Broadway, night. They start to walk up the avenue, all four of them in a row, ad-libbing about the meal and what a night it is. They walk past a shoe store, and Marie suddenly yanks Sally over, ostensibly to look at shoes. The two keep walking.
Oh, I've been looking for a pair of red suede pumps. What do you think of Jess? Do you think that you could go out with him? Oh, she's muted.
Mute. Mutely.
Audio's not working?
Oh.
She's not muted.
This happens every once in a while. 3, 2, 1, maybe. There we go.
Oh.
Like
On
I said,
cue.
I know this well.
Okay.
I'll take it from. Do you think you could go out with him?
I don't know.
Because I really feel comfortable with him.
Sally nodding her head, maybe subconsciously.
You want to go out with Jess?
If it's all right with you.
Sure. I'm just worried about Harry. He's very sensitive. He's going through a rough period, and I just don't want you to reject him right now.
I wouldn't. I totally understand.
Exterior West Broadway at night. Harry and Jess apparently in the midst of an identical conversation. They're sat in front of a running equipment store.
If you don't think you're going to call Marie, do you mind if I call her?
Nah.
Good.
But for tonight you shouldn't. I mean, Sally's very vulnerable right now. I mean, you can call Marie. That's fine. But just wait for a week or so, huh? Don't make any moves tonight.
Fine. No problem. I wasn't even thinking about tonight.
Sally and Marie walk over to the guys.
Well, I don't really feel like walking anymore. I think I'll get a cab.
I'll go with you.
Great. Taxi.
The cab screeches to a halt, and Jess and Marie get into it, and it pulls away, leaving Sally and Harry on the curb. Documentary footage.
A man came to me and said, I found a nice girl for you. She lives in the next village and she is ready for marriage. We were not supposed to meet until the wedding, but I wanted to make sure. So I snuck into her village, hid behind a tree, watched her washing the clothes. I think if I don't like the way she looks, I'm not going to marry her. But she looks really nice to me. So I said, okay, to the man, and we got married. And we've been married for 50 years.
Interior, the shopper image, by day. One of those places with gifts for people who have everything. Harry and Sally browsing through. There's a remote-controlled blimp, a giant Swiss Army knife, etc.
I have to get this. I have to get this.
Harry, we're here for Jess and Marie.
I know. We'll find them something. There's great stuff here.
We should have just gone to the plant store.
Here, this is perfect for them.
Harry puts a helmet on Sally.
What is that?
Battery operated helmet with fan.
Why is this necessary in life?
I don't know. But look at this. It also makes great fries. Oh, good. Hold off the dogs. The hunt is over. Sally, this is the greatest.
He turns on one of those machines that allows you to sing the lead to the backup vocal and instrumental on a song Harry puts in one of the cassettes there. Immediately the instrumental for the Surrey with the fring on top comes on.
Fringe, I can't talk.
With the fringe on top comes on.
Sally, please report to me. Look at this. This is the greatest. You're gonna love this. This is a singing machine. Look, you sing the lead and it has like the backup and everything. Oh, this one's from Oklahoma. Here's the lyrics right here.
Surrey with the fringe on top.
Yes, perfect.
Harry starts singing giddily.
Oh, chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in my Surrey. When I take you out in my Surrey with the fringe on top. Now you
Watch that fringe
that
and see
fringe
how
and
it
see
flutters.
how it flutters
Drive
when
those
I
high
drive
stepping
those high stepping strutters. Nosy pokes will peek through the shutters and their eyes
will pop.
will pop.
They sing along and they both get more and more idiotic. Suddenly, Harry turns pale and stops singing. Sally continues on for a moment and then notices something is wrong.
The wheels are yellow, up the upholstery's brown, and the dashboard's leather with icy glass curtains. That will.
The backup music continues as she stops too.
It's my voice, isn't it? I hate my voice. I know it's terrible. Joe hated.
It's Helen's.
Helen?
She's coming right toward me.
The backup vocals continue as we see coming toward Harry a dark-haired, very chic woman, Helen, accompanied by a tall, attractive man, Ira.
How are you, Harry?
Fine, I'm fine.
This is Ira Dodd. Harry Burns.
Harry?
They shake hands. It's very awkward. Harry suddenly remembers Sally.
I'm sorry, this is Sally Albright. Sally, this is Helen Hilson and Ira.
Sally?
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
A terrible moment. Harry is about to faint.
Well, see ya.
Yeah, bye. Nice to meet you, Ira.
A smile, and they move on. Hold on, Harry, about to faint.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm perfect.
Harry looks like one of those cartoon characters who's been struck on the head with a mallet.
She looked weird, didn't she? She looked really weird. She looked very weird.
I've never seen her before.
Trust me, she looked weird. Her legs looked heavy, really. She must be retaining water.
Harry!
Believe me, the woman saved everything.
Exterior plant shop. Sally is paying for a plant. Harry is just staring blankly into a ficus. Sally approaches.
You sure you're okay?
Oh, I'm fine. Look, it had to happen at some point. In a city of 8 million people, you're bound to run into your ex-wife. So boom, it happens, and now I'm fine.
Interior Jess and Marie's apartment by day. A nice west side floor through with a beautiful fireplace and a great deal of furniture. About twice as much furniture as is necessary, as a matter of fact. Marie and Jess in sneakers, jeans, baggy shirts are clearly in the middle of some sort of dispute as Harry sets down the plant. Sally oohs and ahs about the apartment, the paint job, etc. Harry is still distracted. There are a few unpacked boxes, some books, a couple of ashtrays, a glass, etc.
I like it. It works. It says home to me.
All right. We'll let Harry and Sally be the judge. What do you think?
Marie points to a large wagon wheel that's been made into a coffee table with a round plate of glass over it. Harry looks at Jess, who's glaring at him.
It's nice.
Case closed.
Jess smiles, victorious.
Of course he likes it. He's a guy. Sally?
Sally crinkles up her nose.
What's so awful about it?
It's so awful. There's no way to even begin to explain what's so awful about it.
Honey, I don't object to any of your things.
If we had an extra room, you could put all of your things in, including your bar stools.
No, honey, wait. Honey, wait. Honey, you don't like my bar stools?
Marie looks at him. Of course she doesn't like his bar stools. Jess turns to Harry for help. Harry, we see now, has sat down in a lone chair by the window, and he's staring out like a forlorn figure in a Magritte painting.
Harry, come on. Somebody has to be on my side.
No response from Harry.
I'm on your side. I'm just trying to help you have good taste.
I have good taste.
Everybody thinks they have good taste and a sense of humor, but they couldn't possibly all have good taste.
Harry stands up, looks around the room.
You know, it's funny. We started out like this, Helen and I. We had blank walls and we hung things. We picked out tiles together. And then you know what happens. 6 years later, you find yourself singing Surrey with the Fringe on Top in front of Ira.
What's going on? Oh,
It's
The
silent
audio
again.
again.
Sally.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Do we have to talk about this right now?
Yes, I think right now is actually the perfect time to talk about this because I want our friends to benefit from the wisdom of my experience. Right now, everything is great. Everyone is happy. Everyone is in love. But you got to know that sooner or later, you're going to be screaming at each other about who's going to get this dish. This $8 dish will cost you $1,000 in phone calls to the legal firm. If that's mine, this is yours.
Harry.
Please, Jess, Marie, do me a favor for your own good. Put your name in your books right now before they get mixed up and you don't know whose is whose. Because one day, believe it or not, you'll go 15 rounds over who's going to get this coffee table. This stupid wagon wheel, Roy Rogers garage sale coffee table.
I thought you liked it.
I was being nice.
Harry slams on the door. Sally looks at Jess and Marie.
Bumped into Helen.
Sally goes out the door, leaving Jess and Marie.
I want you to know that I will never, ever want that wagon wheel coffee table.
Exterior Jess and Marie's apartment by day. Harry is pacing in front of the stoop. Sally comes down the steps.
I know. I shouldn't have done it.
Harry, you're going to have to try and find a way of not expressing every feeling that you have every moment that you have it.
Oh, really?
Yes, there are times and places for everything.
Well, the next time you're giving a lecture series on social graces, would you let me know? Because I'll sign up.
Hey, you don't have to take your anger out on me.
Oh, I think I'm entitled to throw a little anger your way, especially when I'm told how to live my life by Miss Hospital Corners.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, nothing bothers you. You never get upset about anything.
Don't be ridiculous.
What? You never get upset about Joe. I never see that back up on you. How is that possible? Don't you experience any feelings of loss?
I don't have to take this crap from you.
Sally storms back into the building. Harry follows.
If you're so over Joe, why aren't you seeing anyone?
I see people.
Sally storms back out into the street. Harry follows her down the street.
See people. Have you slept with one person since you broke up with Joe?
What the hell does that have to do with anything? That will prove that I'm over Joe because I fucked somebody? Harry, you're going to have to move back to New Jersey because you've slept with everybody in New York. And I don't see that turning Helen into a faint memory for you. Besides, I will make love to somebody when it is making love, not the way you do it, like you're out for revenge or something.
Are you finished now?
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Interior of Jess and Marie's apartment by night. It's all furnished now, very comfortable, not lavish. A corduroy couch, lots of books and records, a couple of quilts hanging over the of chairs, no wagon wheel coffee table. A game of win, lose, or draw is in progress. Sally's team consists of Harry, Alice, and Jess. Emily, Harry's date, is snuggled up against him. Alice's husband, Gary, Marie, and Julian, Sally's date, are part of the other team. Sally is feverishly drawing what is supposed to be a baby.
It's a monkey. It's a monkey. Monkey see? Monkey do? It's an ape. Going ape.
Baby.
Sally nods yes and writes the word baby on the paper. She continues to draw what looks like a big mouth.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes? She just said it's a baby. How about Planet of the Dopes?
It doesn't look like a baby.
Sally now has drawn what looks like arrows on lines coming out of the mouth.
A big mouth. Mick Jagger is a baby.
Baby!
Stop with the apes, would you please?
Baby's breath?
Rosemary's Baby's mouth. Won't you come home, Bill Baby?
Papa baby, kiss the baby.
Melancholy Baby's mouth.
Baby fish mouth. Baby fish mouth.
Baby boom.
Draw something resembling anything.
Crying baby, kiss the baby.
Baby spitting up. Exorcist Baby.
Yes, sir, that's my baby.
No, sir. Don't mean maybe.
That's it. Time's up.
Baby talk.
Baby talk? What's that? That's not a saying.
But Baby Fishmouth is sweeping the nation. I hear him talking.
You.
Oh, wait. Final score. Our team 110. You guys 60.
I can't draw.
Nah, that's baby. That's clearly talking. Yeah, you're wonderful.
All right, who wants coffee?
I do. And I love you.
Do you have any tea?
1 tea.
Industrial strength.
I'll help you. Decaf?
Yeah.
Cream.
Where's the bathroom?
Through the door down the hall.
Emily gives Harry a kiss as she heads away. Sally notices this as Julian, Alice, and Gary recap the game.
Doesn't look like a baby to me.
Which part?
All of it.
Hey, Jess, you were going to show me the cover of your book.
Oh, yeah, it's in the den. Look, Julian, help yourself. Have some more wine or whatever you like, okay? I like saying it's in the den. It has a nice ring to it.
As they go off. Interior kitchen. Sally and Marie go about getting the coffee ready.
Is a little young for Harry, don't you think?
Well, she's young, but look what she's done.
What has she done? She makes desserts.
In the den.
Did Julian seem a little stuffy to you?
He's a good guy. You should talk to him, get to know him.
He's too tall to talk to.
In the kitchen.
She makes 360 chocolate mousse pies a week.
Emily is Aunt Emily?
Den.
He took us all to a Mets game last week. It was great.
You all went to a Mets game together?
Yeah, but it was like a last minute thing.
But Sally hates baseball.
Kitchen.
Harry doesn't even like sweets.
Julian is great.
I know. He's grown up.
Den.
Emily's terrific.
Yeah, of course, when I asked her where she was when Kennedy was shot, she said, Ted Kennedy was shot?
No.
Interior of Harry's bedroom by night. Harry is in bed reading, trying not to look at the last page, but finally he can't help himself. As he flips to the last page, the phone rings. He reaches for the phone and answers it. Hello?
You alone?
Yeah, I was just finishing a book.
Could you come over?
What's the matter?
He's getting married.
Oh,
Joe!
I'll be right there.
Interior of the hallway outside Sally's apartment by night. Harry comes out of the elevator in a hurry, rings Sally's bell. Sally opens the door. She's wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. She looks terrible. A big red nose. She starts to cry.
Hi.
Are you all right?
Come in.
Harry puts his arms around her.
Sorry to call you so late.
It's all right.
She goes on sobbing and Harry holds her. Sally pulls back and gives a huge wheeze.
I need a Kleenex.
Okay.
Okay.
Sally starts into the apartment. As Sally enters the room and goes for the Kleenex, she blows her nose, then sits on the bed. Harry sits next to her.
He just called me up and he wanted to see how I was doing. And he said, how are you? Fine. How are you? Fine. His secretary's on vacation. Like everything is all backed up. And he's got a big hates blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting on the phone and I'm thinking, I'm over him. I'm so over him. I can't believe I'd ever be remotely interested in him. And then he said, I have some news. And she works in his office and she's a paralegal. Her name is Kimberly. He just met her. She's supposed to be his transitional person. She's not supposed to be the one. All this time I'm saying that he didn't want to get married, but the truth is he didn't want to marry me. He didn't love me.
If you could take him back right now, would you?
No, but why didn't he want to marry me? What is the matter with me?
Nothing.
I'm difficult
You're challenging,
and too structured. I'm completely closed off.
but in a good way.
No, I drove him away. I'm gonna be 40
When?
someday.
In 8 years.
But it's there, and I'm just sitting here like a big dead end. And it's not the same for men. Charlie Chaplin had babies when he was 73.
Yeah, but he was too old to pick him up.
Sally laughs a little, and then that turns into sobbing again.
Okay. Come here. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. We'll see.
Sally is sobbing all over Harry's pullover.
Oh, go ahead. It's not one of my favorites anyway. It's gonna be okay. You're okay. It's okay.
Harry holds her. He gives her a kiss, starts to break the hug.
I'll make some tea.
Harry, could you just hold me a little longer?
Harry holds her. After a beat, Sally looks up at him, almost searching for something. Finally, she kisses him. A hungry, needy kiss. Harry is caught slightly off guard, but returns the kiss as they begin to passionately make love. Interior of Sally's bedroom, later. They've made love. Both of them are laying in bed. Sally is in Harry's arms. Sally's a little smile on her face, and Harry stares straight ahead.
That is very descriptive, narrator. Are you comfortable?
Sure.
After a pause,
Do you want something to drink or something?
No, I'm okay.
Well, I'm gonna get it for some water, so it's really no trouble.
Oh, okay. Water.
in the kitchen at night, Sally's at the sink, running some water into 2 glasses with ice. Told on her face, a little smile breaks through. In the bedroom, Harry is lying in Sally's bed, still staring straight ahead. In the room is a stuffed animal of some sort, maybe Sally's old teddy bear, a pink quilt. Hold on his face, petrified. In the hallway, as Sally comes back from the kitchen with ice and water into the bedroom where Harry is sitting up in the bed with a light on, looking through a box of index cards, Sally gets in bed next to him.
You have all the videotapes alphabetized on index cards?
Sally hands him the water.
Thanks.
A silence while Harry desultorily goes through the box. Unbelievably awkward. Every sound is louder than it actually is. The rifle of the index cards, Sally taking a gulp of water, Harry rearranging his pillow.
Do you want to watch something?
Not unless you do.
No, that's okay.
A pause.
Do you want to go to sleep?
Okay.
They turn the lights out. Harry closes his eyes. Sally's are open. Hold on her. She closes them. Open. And hold on them lying there. In the bedroom, in the middle of the night, Sally is fast asleep, and Harry is wide awake, staring at the digital clock, which says 4:06 a.m. In the bedroom, almost dawn. Sally is in bed asleep. The clock now says 5:59 a.m. It clicks to 6 a.m. Sally wakes up, sees the other half of the bed empty. Where's Harry? She turns over and sees him getting dressed.
Where are you going?
I I gotta go. Gotta go home. I gotta change my clothes, and then I have to go to work, and so do you. But after work, I'd like to take you out to dinner if you're free. Are you free?
Yes.
Right. I'll call you later.
Fine.
Fine.
Harry gives her a little kiss and walks out. Hold on her in bed as the door slams. Next to her is the phone. In Jess and Marie's bedroom in the morning, a bed with two phones on either side. Jess and Marie asleep in bed. The phone on Marie's side of the bed starts to ring. Marie and Jess both wake up. Look at the clock. They can't believe how early it is. It rings again.
You
Muted.
Dang it. Yours.
Marie picks up the phone again, pulls the phone onto the bed.
Hello?
also audio trouble.
Damn! Give it time.
It's-
3, 2. There.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
I'm so sorry to call you so early.
Are you all right?
No one I know would have called this hour.
I did something terrible.
What did you do?
The phone rings on Jess's side of the bed.
No one I know would call at this hour.
Oh, it's so awful.
I need to talk.
What happened?
What's the matter?
Harry came over last night
I went over to Sally's last night,
because I was so upset that Joe was getting married.
and one thing led to another.
And before I knew it, we were kissing, and
To make a long story short,
we did it.
we did it.
They did it.
They did it.
That's great, Sally.
We've been praying for it.
You should have done it in the first place.
For months, we've been saying you should do it.
You guys belong together.
It's like killing two birds with one stone.
It's like 2 wrongs make a right.
How was
How
it?
was it?
The during part was good,
I thought it was good,
but then I felt suffocated.
but then I guess it wasn't.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
The worst.
I had to get out of there.
Just disappeared.
I feel so bad.
I'm so embarrassed.
I don't blame you.
That's horrible.
I think I'm coming down with something.
I think I'm catching a cold.
Look, it would have been great if it worked out, but it didn't.
You should never go to bed with anyone when you find out your boyfriend is getting married.
Who's that talking?
Who?
Is that Jess on the phone?
It's Jane Fonda on the VCR.
It's Brian Gumble on TV. Do you want to
wanna
come
come over
over
for
for
breakfast?
breakfast?
Marie and
No,
Jess look
I'm
together,
not up to it.
horrified.
No, I'm not up to it.
Oh, I feel too awful.
I mean, it's so early.
But call me later if you want.
I'll call you later, okay?
Okay, bye.
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 Everyone hangs up. Sally and Harry vanish from the sides of the screen. Hold on Marie and Jess. Marie looks at Jess.
God,
I know.
tell me I'll never have to be out there again.
Jess puts his arms around her and holds her.
You will never have to be out there again.
Inside Sally's bathroom, by day, Sally looking at herself in the mirror as she puts on makeup.
Say, we made a mistake.
In Harry's bathroom by day, Harry is showering in his own shower.
Sally, it was a mistake.
In Sally's bathroom, as before.
I just hope I get to say it first.
In Harry's bathroom, Harry is still showering.
I hope she says it before I do.
Inside the restaurant at night, as the waiter brings Harry and Sally drinks, both of them take a long gulp.
It was a mistake.
I'm so relieved that you think so too.
Both of them take swigs of their water.
I'm not saying that last night wasn't great.
It is.
Yes, it was.
We just never should have done it.
I couldn't agree more.
Sally nods. A pause.
I'm so relieved.
Right.
Harry
Yeah.
nodding. Sally nodding. Well, that's that.
2 mixed green salads.
They start to eat. They eat. Silence. We hear the forks against the plates. More silence.
It is so nice when you can sit with someone and not have to talk.
Hold on the scene as they go on eating in silence. Fade out. Outside Central Park, Bethesda Fountain by day. Harry and Jess fast walking along.
It's just like most of the time you go to bed with someone, she tells you her stories, you tell her your stories. But with Sally and me, we've already heard each other's stories. So once we went to bed, we didn't know what we were supposed to do, you know?
Sure, Harry.
I don't know. Maybe you just get to a certain point in the relationship where it's just too late to have sex, you know?
In the department store dressing room by day, we can see Marie in her underclothes, Sally in a chair.
So, is Harry bringing anybody to the wedding?
Did again. God damn it. I don't think so. Did we lose the audio again?
Again? Am I? Hello?
No, you're good. You're good. I don't think so is the last thing I said.
Is he seeing anyone?
He was seeing this anthropologist, but
What did she look like?
thin, pretty, big tits, your basic white girl nightmare.
Marie is trying on a very traditional white wedding dress with a train and a veil.
You're not seeing my wedding dress tonight. So what do you think?
Oh, Marie.
Tell the truth.
It's just beautiful.
Inside the Puck building, the wedding, in the afternoon. A winter wedding with pine boughs and holly. Marie in her wedding dress with a gorgeous bouquet of flowers coming through the door of a small banquet room with her father and Sally, who is maid of honor. A chamber music quartet is playing something by Mozart as they all come down the aisle to a judge who is standing at the head of the aisle, next to Jess and Harry, his best man. Harry looks at Sally as she comes down the aisle. Sally looks at him for a moment, looks away. We are gathered here today to celebrate the marriage of Marie and Jess and to consecrate their vows of matrimony. The vows they take join their lives. The wine, their will shall winds all their hopes together, and by the rings they will wear, they will be known to all as husband and wife. Inside the Puck building, wedding reception, entrance and kitchen. In the afternoon, a band is playing.
I've never seen her so happy. She's a totally different person.
Oh, yeah, she is. Well, it's great. So, what are we gonna do about you?
Hun, you wanna dance?
Oh, yeah.
The couple excuses themselves, and as they do, we see Harry approach her.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice ceremony.
Beautiful.
Sally is clearly uncomfortable. She's going to behave like someone who is simply not going to get involved or even pretend interest in this conversation.
Boy, the holidays are rough. Every year I just try to get from the day before Thanksgiving to the day after New Year's.
Sally nods.
Yeah. A lot of suicides.
Harry nods. Sally nods.
Hmm.
A waiter comes up with a tray of hors d'oeuvres.
Would you like a pea pod with shrimp?
Thank you.
She takes one.
No. How have you been?
Fine.
A pause.
Are you seeing anybody?
Sally looks at him.
Harry,
What?
I don't want to talk about this.
Why not?
I don't want to talk about it.
Why can't we get past this? I mean, are we just going to carry this thing around forever?
Forever. It just happened.
It happened 3 weeks ago.
Sally looks at him disbelievingly.
You know, a year to a person is like 7 years to a dog.
Yes.
Harry throws up his hands as if it's self-explanatory.
Is one of us supposed to be the dog in this scenario?
Yes,
Who's the dog?
you are.
I am. I'm the dog.
Yeah.
I'm the dog. I.
People are starting to notice the intensity of the conversation. Sally is really furious now. She starts toward the large screen that's a few feet from the end of the room, thinking they can get some privacy if she gets behind it.
I don't see that, Harry. If anyone is the dog, you're the dog. You acted like nothing that happened meant anything.
They reach the screen, but there's no getting behind it. There are folded chairs in the bass player's bass case and the drummer's case, etc. Sally reverses and starts toward the door out of the room. Harry follows.
I'm not saying it didn't mean anything. I'm saying is, why does it have to mean everything?
Because it does. And you should know that better than anyone, because the minute that it happened, you walked right through that door.
I didn't walk out.
No, you sprinted is more like it.
We both agreed it was a mistake.
The worst mistake I've ever made.
They go through the door Sally was heading for, and now they're in the kitchen. Waiters are banging with the trays, dumping glasses into the sink, opening champagne, etc. Harry and Sally shouting now over the din.
Look, what do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you.
Fine, but let's just get one thing straight. I did not go over that night to make love to you. That is not why I went there. But you looked up at me with those big, weepy eyes. Don't go home at night, Harry. Hold me a little longer, Harry. What was I supposed to do?
What are you saying? That you took pity on me?
No, I was.
Fuck you.
Sally slapped Harry across the face, then burst out of the kitchen with a stunned Harry right behind her. In the Buck building at the wedding reception, the entire wedding party is assembled around the bandstand. The band is playing some kind of musical riff that signals that attention must be paid. Sally comes to a stop. Harry is just behind her. There is a crowd of guests assembled in a knot with Jess and Marie, their arms around each other, standing there with their champagne glasses. Jess is in front of the microphone.
Everybody, could I have your attention, please? I'd like to propose a toast to Harry and Sally. To Harry and Sally. If Marie and I had found either of them remotely attractive, we would not be here today.
Everyone laughs and raises their glasses to Harry and Sally. Marie takes her wedding bouquet and lobs it into the air straight at Sally. For a moment, we think that Sally isn't going to make a move for it. She's just going to let it land on the floor. But at the last moment, she reaches out and catches it. Hold on her. Christmas in New York. Everywhere you look, twinkly lights and happy children, and people carrying home big presents and Santa Clauses, ringing bells on street corners. Outside 96th Street, at the Christmas tree stand, by day, Sally, in jeans and a plaid jacket, has just bought a Christmas tree, and the salesman has finished putting plastic netting around it. Sally starts to carry the tree. It's very heavy. The top of it is dragging slightly behind her, and she's leaving a little trail of pine needles behind her as she starts home. But she's going to carry this damn tree home alone if it kills her. As we watch her carry the tree home, we hear a beep on Sally's machine.
Hi, it's me. It's the holiday season, and I thought I'd just remind you that this is the season for charity and forgiveness. And although it's not widely known, it is also the season of groveling. So if you felt like calling me back, I'd be more than happy to do the traditional Christmas grovel. Give me a call.
In Sally's apartment, she listens to her machine as she puts away groceries.
Is it me? Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't hear you.
Sorry. Hi, I'm not home right now. Call you right back.
If you're there, please pick up the phone. I really want to talk to you. The fact that you're not answering leads me to believe that you're either A, not at home, B, home but don't want to talk to me, or C, home, desperately want to talk to me but trapped under something heavy. If it's either A or C, please call me back.
On the street at the hot dog stand by day, Harry and Jess are stopped at a hot dog stand.
Obviously, she doesn't want to talk to me. What do I have to do? Beat her over the head metaphorically? If she wants to call me, she'll call me. I'm through making a schmuck out of myself.
In Harry's by day, Harry is singing on the phone. The backup music machine is going.
If you're feeling sad and lonely, there's a service I can render. Tell the one who dig you only I can be so warm and tender.
Inside Sally's apartment by day, Sally enters carrying shopping bags.
Call me. Maybe it's so late, so just call me. Don't be afraid to just call me. Call me, and I'll be around. Give me a call.
Beep. Sally just stares. Finally, she picks up the phone.
Hi, Harry.
Hi, hello. Hi. I didn't know that you were that you were there. What are you doing?
I was just on my way out.
Well, where are you going?
What do you want, Harry?
Nothing. Nothing. I just called to say I'm sorry.
Okay.
Long, awkward silence.
I gotta go.
Wait a second. Wait a second. What are you doing for New Year's? Are you going to the Tyler's party? Because I don't have a date, and if you don't have a date, we always said that if neither of us had a date, we could be together for New Year's, and we, could. What? Why don't we?
I can't do this anymore, Harry. I'm not your consolation prize. Goodbye.
She hangs up. Outside Times Square by night, a tight shot of Dick Clark. We pull out to reveal Harry's apartment by night. Harry is lying in bed, eating pistachio nuts, watching Dick Clark on TV.
And here we are once again at the 16th annual New Year Rockin' Eve, coming to you live from.
What's so bad about this? You got Dick Clark, that's tradition. You got Malamars, the greatest cookies of all time. And you're about to give the Knicks their first championship since 1973.
Harry aims a wadded piece of paper, a wiffle ball at a basketball hoop, over the door to his bedroom. He misses. He looks back at the TV set. His mind drifts and we push in on his face. Harry is now walking the empty New Year's streets.
This is much better. Fresh air. I have the streets all to myself. Who needs to be at a big, crowded party pretending to have a good time? Plus, this is the perfect time to catch up on my window shopping. This is good.
Inside the New Year's Eve party at night, a great big New Year's Eve party. The mirrored ball is twirling, twinkling lights on everyone's face. Sally is dancing with a tall man. He dips her. She is appalled. Upright again, she catches Marie's eye as this tall man swoops her about the floor. Marie is dancing with Jess.
I don't know why I let you drag me to this.
And she's dipped again. Sally is laughing merrily at the joke some man has just told her. Marie passes her by. Sally turns her face quickly, passing from happiness to anguish.
I'm going home.
You'll never get a taxi.
Sally turns back to the man who told her the joke, the smile re-plastered on her face. Outside Washington Square at night, Harry is walking along the same place he dropped off by Sally 11 years ago.
You realize, of course, that we can never be friends.
Why not?
What I'm saying is that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true.
No man can be friends with a woman he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
What if they don't want to have sex with you?
Doesn't matter because the sex thing is already out there. So the friendship is ultimately doomed, and that's the end of the story.
Well, I guess we're not going to be friends then.
Guess not.
That's too bad because you're the only person I knew in New York.
Still in Washington Square, Harry is back in reality. Thinking about what just happened in his mind, he feels the cold and turns his collar up, then starts walking slowly away from the arch. We stay with Harry as his pace starts to quicken and finally ends with him running down the street. Inside the New Year's Eve party, it's almost midnight. Balloons, confetti, the mirrored ball spinning slowly around. The excitement in the room builds as we approach midnight. We see Sally with a group of friends, including Jess and Marie.
I'm going.
It's almost midnight.
Well, the thought of not kissing somebody is just.
I'll kiss you. Come on, stay, please.
Thanks, Jess. I have to go.
On the street at night, Harry is still running, looking for a cab. He can't find one. He keeps running. In the party, Sally is at the closet putting on her coat. On the street, Harry is still running down the street. Back in the party, Sally is kissing Jess and Marie goodnight.
I'll wait 2 minutes.
I'll call you tomorrow.
She turns to go. She stops dead in her tracks. It's Harry. Slowly, he comes towards her and stops in front of her.
I've been doing a lot of thinking, and the thing is, I love you.
What?
I love you.
How do you expect me to respond to this?
How about you love me too?
Did the audio cut out?
I think it did. I couldn't tell if she was leaving or not. Yeah. Okay. Well, we still can't wait. Wait.
Nope.
3,
One,
2, 1.
3.
How about
Yes!
Sally turns after several attempts and walks off, parting the crowd. Harry follows her like a terrier.
Look, doesn't what I said mean anything to you?
During the following, we hear the countdown to the new year, after which everyone breaks into Happy New Year. Confetti flies, everyone is kissing and breaking into Auld Lang Syne.
Sorry, Harry. I know it's New Year's Eve. I know you're feeling lonely, but you just can't show up here. Tell me you love me and expect that that's going to make everything all right. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, how does it work?
I don't know, but not this way.
Well, how about this way? I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you're the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely. And it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you kind of want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Like you, Harry. You say things like that, and then you make it impossible for me to hate you. I hate you, Harry. I really hate you. I hate you.
She starts to cry. Harry puts his arms around her. They kiss. A long kiss. The twinkle ball goes around, twinkling. They go on kissing. Auld Lang Syne continues in the background.
What does this song mean? For my whole life, I don't know what this song means. I mean, should old acquaintance be forgot? Does that mean that we should forget old acquaintances? Or does it mean if we happen to forget them, we should remember them, which is not possible because we already forgot them?
Well, maybe it just means that we should remember that we forgot them or something. Anyways, it's just about old friends.
They start to kiss again. As the camera pulls away from them,
The first time we met, we hated each other.
No, you didn't hate me. I hated you. And the second time we met, you didn't even remember me.
I did too. I remembered you. The third time we met, we became friends.
We were friends for a long time,
And then we weren't.
and then we fell in love.
A couple on a love seat, Harry and Sally together, looking at the camera.
3 months later, we got married.
Yeah, it only took 3 months.
12 years and 3 months.
We had a really wonderful wedding.
It was really, yeah, it was a wonderful wedding.
Yeah, we had this enormous coconut cake.
Huge coconut cake with like tears and everything, and this like really rich chocolate sauce on the side.
Right, because not everybody likes it on the cake because it makes it very soggy.
Particularly the coconut soaks up a lot of that stuff, so it's important to keep it on the side.
Right.
The end.
That was so good. Just so many good parts. That once we were needed. I'm going to start with our narrator, Sean. Thank you so much.
Always happy to be here.
I'm gonna bring this question from the chat into the public. Does Dad feel awkward narrating that Mom?
There was some like, wait a minute. Wait. This is not what we do in the players.
The dad off.
First dad.
I'm ready to fight for valor.
Always.
Oh! Pissing match.
And in reality, it's just a very, really dramatic gay polycule in which all of the moms and all of the dads are all kind of into each other.
What am I about to watch?
There is love.
Several times to like trigger warnings, and I'm like, I feel like I need to be sober to watch this movie.
Wait, which movie?
Are we talking about Perks of a Wallflower? Is that right?
No.
Oh,
no.
That we do.
No.
Yes. There needs to be some trigger warnings for that. We're talking about ourselves.
Oh.
We're talking about Sean being, if it's awkward for Sean narrating falling in love with another man.
Fully believe
We're
that
talking
love
about Sean being jealous of me.
Right. There is enough love in this world for everybody to have some. So like let's just love is expansive and it spreads and it is beautiful.
I've never seen before. My goodness.
I always come back to you. It's fine.
I can't wait for like in-person Players Con when like someone like of our like 5 fans who aren't married to us come up and be like, "Are you guys really dating?"
I mean, if that's it, like there's chemistry in like every role among everybody here. So it's not just mom and dad here.
Let's be real here. It's just one big gangbang.
I mean, let's just be
I'll take
honest
it.
with our fans.
Love is exponential.
Yes. Thank you to our old couples, Ginger and Mona. And literally every other role that wasn't the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Thank you. My better half, Jess, Liz, thank you.
So good to see you again.
I know.
I'm really glad to be back, you guys.
We're glad to have you back.
I love you.
I was Space Mom and apparently I had a really good look at one point.
Yes,
me. And then our co-leads of Harry and Sally, Michelle, and the man of the hour.
I'm always impressed by the narrators. Our narrators are fantastic.
Yeah. That's why I only did it once.
To be fair,
I'm narrating the room.
You are.
That.
Yeah.
Fun.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I mean, of the narrations, my faves are still honestly Juno because of just how the script was weird, and also the fact that like I gave Danny like 4 pages in Halloween and didn't realize it.
That was a lot of narrating.
I'm so sorry.
Poor Danny.
That was, well, how else would it have happened though? Like I feel like as a
Yeah.
script reading, it had to be that way because there was a lot of nonverbal things happening.
Correct.
It is what it is.
Exactly.
I just
So,
talk a lot.
well, that's it for us tonight. We will see you on March the 6th for The Room in all of its crazy, crazy glory.
Donate. I go by Danny.
Donate. Give Danny all your fucking money.
That's right.
So, good night, everybody.